aside whatever savings are possible. For businesses, this is an ideal moment to strengthen operational efficiency. Lower and stable inflation offers space to refine supply chains, invest in productivity, reduce waste, and build stronger links with local producers. For government, continue with the fiscal discipline, as that is very essential.
A senior fellow at Africa Policy Lens, Dr. Eric Boachi Yadom, noted the sustained disinflation provides the central bank with wider scope to continue cutting the monetary policy rate.
It contributes to the government agenda in achieving price stability, and there's a relatively increase in household income as prices generally are stable or falling.
The key challenge is preventing a rebound.
A farmer will buy farm input at a relatively high cost, prepare the ground. By the time the garden eggs is ready, you go to the market and you sell. You are unable to make enough money to pay for your cost of input. We have more food on the market, which is causing the price to fall. The producers will be losing out. The farmers will be losing out. That if farmers are unable to get adequate funding for the next crop season, inflation that we've been trying to fight, we may end up defeating that purpose. So we need to find a way of improving storage system for farmers who may not want to sell now, so that when prices are relatively good and they can recover their cost of production, it can go to the market.
Moving on, the Bank of Ghana's decision to slash monetary policy rates to 18% is a clear signal to the markets that low interest rates are essential for businesses to flourish, according to an economist at the Institute of Statistical, Social and Economic Research of the University of Ghana, Professor Peter Quartey. Now, he emphasized that while the rate cut is positive for investment and growth, systems must simultaneously be put in place to ensure banks remain profitable.
I think it's good. It signals to the market that we want lower interest rates, signals to the market that lenders want lower interest rates to borrow and invest so they can stimulate production and enhance employment. We need lower interest rate, but as we do so, we also have to look at default rate. What systems do we put in place to minimize risk of default? That is one thing that is hurting banks or financial institutions. It's not just a matter of reducing the policy rates, but there's also putting systems that will cushion the banks, that will enable the banks become profitable.
Meanwhile, Professor Quartey observed that the gaps are huge when comparing the November inflation rate of 6.3%, the Bank of Ghana's policy rate of 18%, and the average commercial bank's lending rate of 20%. He, however, placed part of the blame for the persistent high interest rate directly on the shoulders of borrowers, citing poor repayment behaviors as a key factor.
Ideally, you should expect the gap to be narrower, but it looks like it's still wide. But it's a gradual process. We've seen a reduction to this level, so gradually that should kick in. But the issue is when you're looking at interest rate determination, there are several factors that goes into interest rate determination. The policy rate signals, the cost of doing business. Banks would also have to look at their cost of operations, and if one of such is risk of default is so high, remains very high, over 20%. These are depositors' monies that have to be repaid. So, in as much as we would love to see lower interest rates, I think we should also be guided that there are several things that determines interest rate, including our own attitude towards borrowing. If we borrow and we do not pay, then the banks cannot reduce interest rate to the barest minimum I would have expected.
We heard economists at the Institute of Statistical, Social and Economic Research of the University of Ghana, Professor Peter Quartey, on the significant disparity between the nation's key economic indicators. Now, to some other stories, the executive chairman of the Food and Beverages Association of Ghana, Reverend John Awuni, has expressed disappointment in government and the Public Utility Regulatory Commission for going ahead with tariff increase, describing the decision as a reward for inefficiencies. Electricity tariffs will rise by 9.86% across all customer categories, while water tariffs will see a 15.92% increase effective January 2026.
We are very much disappointed in the fact that the government has decided to go ahead to increase the tariffs for water and then electricity, in the face of the fact that the ECGs is clearly riddled with corruption, riddled with total inefficiencies. The PULC has still gone ahead to increase tariffs, and the increment in the tariffs amounts to rewarding impunity. The increment in tariffs amounts to applauding them for the level of corruption that is deep-seated in the ECG. What clearly has happened amounts to injustice being rewarded, and the research cannot amount to tariff increment. And we thought that the petition that we presented would have given them the opportunity to treat the cancer of corruption, inefficiencies in the ECG. But to go ahead to increase the tariffs, irrespective of the percentage, is a reward for inefficiency, is a reward for corruption, is a reward for the things that they keep on doing.
That was Executive Chairman of the Food and Beverages Association of Ghana, Reverend John Albuni. Before we go, let's take a look at how the cedi is faring against major trading currencies and how some key commodities are also faring on the global market.
Interbank foreign exchange market, the dollar is selling at 11 cedis, 37 pesos. It gained 3 pesos. The British pound is selling at 15 cedis, 16 pesos. It gained 18 pesos. The euro is selling at 13 cedis, 26 pesos. It also gained 9 pesos. However, be guided that these figures could be higher at a forex bureau near you. The global commodities market, Brent crude is trading at $62.82 per barrel. Gold is trading at $4,202.26 per ounce, down by $3.59. Cocoa is trading at $5,504 per ton, up by $49.
And that was an update from the Forex and Commodities markets. I'll be off for business news here on Sunrise 3FM 92.7. For more news, please check our website at 3news.com. I am Enyunam Paliga. Sunrise continues.
92.7 3FM. 92.7 3FM.
This December, give your kids what they really want. Your time, your full attention. Cerelac in partnership with 3FM presents Family Fun Day. #FamiLat 2025. A full-day adventure packed with games, family competitions, live performances happening Friday, 5th December at Good Park from 9 a.m. To register your family for free, dial *928*12*11#. For vendor bookings or inquiries, call or WhatsApp us on 053-11-00927 or 053-220.
You'll find this particular edition of the morning show streaming every morning. We bring you inarguably the best breakfast show in the capital, and because you are important to us, we give you the opportunity to have your voice be heard as well every morning. 055-924-2717 055-924-2717, as well as 055-691-0154 055-691-0154. Those are the numbers by which, when we open the phone lines, you can reach out to us and be a part of the conversation. And boy, oh boy, what a last 12 hours it's been since the arrest, subsequent bail and release of private legal practitioner Martin Pibu. There's been a flurry of reactions from different individuals to the development from the Office of the Special Prosecutor late last night. And we'll get into all of that for you, but we can't start without the weather. Felicity Appiah-Ampofo will join us pretty shortly to do that for us as well. She's our chief weather forecaster. She joins us every morning, shares the weather update with us. Are we to expect rains? That thunderstorm yesterday produced quite some very intense rains, I must say. And if you know Accra very well, flash floods took over part of the street and the likes, but we haven't heard anything in the negative, and so we can be thankful at least that it was just the flash floods that came about and left. But it's still quite dark, and so the question remains whether or not we are to expect a bit more rain today as well. We'll get those updates from Felicity Appiah-Ampofo. Then we'll get into our newspapers for you as well. Because the papers go to bed a bit early, sometimes some decide to go late. We'll try and see if a bit of them captured the exclusive details as to what's happened with Felicity, with the weather, and Felicity Appiah-Ampofo will join us as well. I get the indication there's a bit of a struggle in being able to reach here right now this morning, but what we can do for you is provide you quick updates from their social media handles as well, because thunderstorms or rain amidst cloudy conditions will affect places along the coastal, inland, and some parts of the middle sector this morning. And so, yes, there's the expectation of a bit more rain today as well. Cases of mist and fog patches are expected over part of the hilly and forest areas as well. As the day advances into the afternoon, sunny weather coupled with occasional cloudiness will dominate most parts of the southern part of the country, whilst fairly dry and slightly hazy conditions prevail. Let's speak to Felicity quickly. I understand she's joined us over the phone line now. Hello, Felicity. Good morning. I trust that you're well.
Yeah, good morning, Mawuena. Yes, I'm better today than yesterday.
Fantastic. I missed you yesterday because I myself could not be here. But talk to us. Yesterday we had lots of rain, and I'm just reading from your social media post that we should be expecting a bit more of that this morning.
Yes, yes, it was a storm that drifted from the sea that engulfed the extreme southern sector. Currently, much of it is over central, western and western north. So we expect it to drift later into Côte d'Ivoire, but then it will induce cloudiness over the southern sector this morning. And then from 10, we expect the sun to break through. For the other part of the country, we expect it to be partly cloudy today with sunny conditions, and temperatures will be around 37 for the north, 34, 35 for the middle sector. Along the coastal slope, we expect an average temperature of 32 degrees Celsius. Rain is still expected this morning over the coastal slope, and then by afternoon we expect some showers over the middle sector, especially for Volta region and parts of East region. The state of the sea, we expect it to remain rough with some cloudy situations. Towards the eastern flank, it's better for fishing activities, but the western flank, the rainstorm is over there, so we need to take precautions.
And so a bit more in terms of the rain. Is this expected to continue into the weekend, though, this storm that we're seeing?
Into the weekend, no. We expect partly cloudy tomorrow and Saturday, but then the afternoons we expect some localized development of wind and thunder over the inland areas.
Right then, Felicity, as always, I appreciate you for joining us with the weather update.
Thank you so much.
And do have a fantastic day as well. That's Felicity Appiah-Ampofo. She's chief weather forecaster for us with the Ghana Meteorological Agency. Has joined us with the weather updates. And so just be expectant. If you're yet to step out, you should be choosing an umbrella as part of your startup for your package for the day. Pick an umbrella because you should expect a bit more rains this morning as well. As that cloudiness, which I can see from where I'm seated, if I want to stay a little, you can see that it's slightly dark, not as you would anticipate on a morning like this. And so be on the lookout for that, after which we'll get into the newspapers for you pretty shortly. and then we'll have you as well joining in the phone calls. The rest of the guys will join us pretty shortly to do the newspaper review as well. But right now, we get into our song for the morning, and this one is by Songs of Glory medley featuring Grace Charles.
92.7 3 FM. 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 92.7.
This December, give your kids what they really want. Your time, your full attention. Cerelac in partnership with 3FM presents Family Fun Day. #FamiLat 2025. A full-day adventure packed with games, family competitions, live performances. Happening Friday, 5th December at Good Park from 9 a.m. To register your family for free, dial *928*12*11#. For vendor bookings or inquiries, call or WhatsApp us on 053-11-00927 or 053-220-0927. Family Fun Day, powered by Cerelac and brought to you by 3FM. This December, give your kids what they really want. Your time, your full attention. Cerelac in partnership with 3FM presents Family Fun Day. #FamiLat 2025. A full-day adventure packed with games, family competitions, live performances. Happening Friday, 5th December at Good Park from 9 a.m. To register your family for free, dial *928*12*11#. For vendor bookings or inquiries, call or WhatsApp us on 053-11-00927 or 053-220-0927. Family Fun Day, powered by Cerelac and brought to you by 3FM. This December, give your kids what they really want. Your time, your full attention. Cerelac in partnership with 3FM presents Family Fun Day. #FamiLat 2025. A full-day adventure packed with games, family competitions, live performances. Happening Friday, 5th December at Good Park from 9 a.m. To register your family for free, dial *928*12*11#. For vendor bookings or inquiries, call or WhatsApp us on 053-11-00927 or 053-220-0927. Family Fun Day, powered by Cerelac and brought to you by 3FM. This December, give your kids what they really want. Your time, your full attention. Cerelac in partnership with 3FM presents Family Fun Day. #FamiLat 2025. A full-day adventure packed with games, family competitions, live performances. Happening Friday, 5th December at Good Park from 9 a.m. To register your family for free, dial *928*12*11#. For vendor bookings or inquiries, call or WhatsApp WhatsApp us on 053-11-00927 or 053-220-0927. Family Fun Day, powered by Cerelac and brought to you by 3FM. This December, give your kids what they really want. Your time, your full attention. Cerelac in partnership with 3FM presents Family Fun Day. #FamiLac 2025. A full-day adventure packed with games, family competitions, live performances. Happening Friday, 5th December at Good Park from 9 a.m. To register your family for free, dial *928*12*11#. For vendor bookings or inquiries, call or WhatsApp us on 053-11-00927 or 053-220-0927. Family Fun Day, powered by Cerelac and brought to you by 3FM. This December,
There's been long deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up. There's been long deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up. There's been long deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up. There's been long deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up. There's been long deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition.
Over the last 12 hours involving private legal practitioner Martin Pebu and the Office of the Special Prosecutor, and we'll get into it straight up this morning for you, starting off with the Daily Post. And just like I predicted, a number of the papers do not have the Daily Post actually has that story. So their big banner story: Martin Pebu released by OSP. Has a picture of Mr. Pebu, the Special Prosecutor Kisie Jabin, and lawyer Francis Xavier Sosu as well. Those are the pictures of the Daily Post, and so you see that large and in charge there for you if you see. Also here, top up 9% salary increase or withdraw new utility tariffs, 2EC to government. Legally wrong and unacceptable. Sosu blast OSP over Pebu case, and so that's why we had the three of them captured on the front page. On the back page, a life well lived in honor of the late Defense Minister, Dr. Edward Omane Boama as well, 49 years of age. He would have celebrated his birthday on the 26th of this month, the month of December. Final funeral arrangements are being made in his honor this Saturday. No, not this Saturday. I think next week, Saturday, December 13, at the Jackson Park in Koforidua. That's where that will happen. And so, by way of info as well for listeners, the overseer is the next one I have. Pablo's mother goes home this weekend at Awukugua. That also on the front page of the Overseer newspaper. CMC MD assesses ongoing crop season, confirms readiness for 24-hour operations rollout. GFZA calls for urgent interventions to strengthen government or Ghana's agribusiness value chain. November inflation drops to 6.3%, marking 11th consecutive decline according to the Ghana Statistical Service. Sixtus, good morning to you. I trust that all has been well with you over the weekend. No, not the weekend. Yesterday. No, it was yesterday. I wasn't.
We were here
too
yesterday.
Great, and so today is much better. I'm not struggling to speak, and so I think there's a lot of positives in that regard as well. But yes, it's good to be back, and I trust that you're well too.
I'm good. I'm fine. Thank you. God is good.
He's always been good. Forever He will remain good to all of us. You have some papers as well.
You read all?
Oh. So what I'm trying to do is have us get into the development from yesterday, right? And possibly begin to hear some of the voices and the story as it played out from yesterday involving private legal practitioner Martin Pebu, because it was around news time, really. The news didn't really have to end when we entered into the realm of breaking news involving private legal practitioner Martin Pebu having been detained by the Office of the Special Prosecutor. And subsequently, it has come to our attention that he was released, and he spoke in the aftermath of his release. We'll hear from him as well. But I just want to bring in a number of the voices who began to react But first off, let me pick your thoughts. I think that's in the right direction. What you made of everything that played? Because when I heard the news, I was like, oh boy, this is just not the way to go. The OSP's office, they've been reacting as well, sharing their own version of development from the... I don't know if you've seen that already, but perhaps we'll start off from what is their own version of account, whilst I'm ready for us to hear from Martin Pebu, who yesterday was at the heart and center of all of this development.
Mawuena, this is a no. It's a not, and it makes it very difficult for those of us who are in the minority, by the way, who are trying to bring some sort of reason and sanity, for lack of a better expression, to the increasing calls for the removal of Mr. Kissie Jabin as the OSP. Yes, as the SP, sorry. In the advocacy that you've heard from a very few of us, we said that the man should not be crucified because he probably did not do well on one job. Let's look at his track record over the period. And I think it was in furtherance of that argument that the office released what they called achievements of the special prosecutor.
It was discussed in Parliament yesterday, actually.
Yesterday, yes. And we tried, getting other reasons why. Some of us blamed the communications emanating from the OSP on its work and for all of the troubles that the SP found himself in. Only for this to happen. It's a not. Because see, if the man has leveled allegations against you, there are a number of options opened to you. You can let that be investigated either by yourself. I don't have a problem with the OSP investigating allegations leveled against the SP. I don't have a problem with that because I believe in the office. I believe that it is an office, it has structures, and that a case can be investigated if we have officers of integrity at that office. They can actually investigate allegations against a member of the office or a head of the office without any influence. It should be possible. But that sounds probably too idealistic. And so as we are trying to make this argument and trying to let people see reason why the office in itself should not be touched, the head of the office himself should at least be given an opportunity to explain himself, then things like this happen. It is not necessary. You can investigate the man. Even if you like, you can sue him as SP because the allegations are against the person of the SP as occupant of the office. So as Mr. Kisi Ejabeng, you can sue Martin Pebu if you so please. But to directly allow your office to arrest and detain the man who is so loud about you in the public space, who is, as some have described, your public enemy number one, it is no. The optics alone are not even good for you. Forget the law. Forget what the law says about it. And I keep speaking about communication, about imaging and all of that. Let's put the law on pause for a minute. The optics alone are not good. Martin Pebu has been very loud about your supposed corruption or corrupt activities. Let the man be investigated by some officers. Or if you like, let the CID investigate the allegations that have been leveled against you. If you even feel that, the public might say, because your office is investigating, there may be some influence on it, you have some influence over the investigation, so it will not be credible. If you want to demonstrate that you are interested in seeing an end to this satisfactorily, creditably, for people to indeed believe and trust in you and in the office, you could let the CID deal with this matter. But you invite him to the office, then suddenly you detain him. You arrest him and detain him. The first time he went to the office, he told us that they attempted restricting him to one lawyer, which is not. There's no law that says that if you are arrested or if you are invited, you must come with one lawyer. There's no law that says that. And for an office that is interested in accountability, an office that should promote transparency, good ethics, and ensure that the people who are trusted with the public resources are living up to the standards of their jobs. We don't expect things like this from that office.
Let me pause you there and bring in what Martin Pebu had to say after he was released, because there's been a lot of reactions questioning whether or not the OSU was right in its ways. We'll hear from the individuals who spoke to us last night. But first, let's hear from Martin Pebu. And then the Office of the Special Prosecutor as well has given their version of account. I'll read that as well to set a proper context from which we will proceed to go into the matters, because he was arrested for obstructing an officer. I'll have us go through the legislation or the enactment which created the Office of the Special Prosecutor and ask the question whether or not that falls within their mandate. And I don't want to make it as simplistic as that it doesn't fall within their mandate and so they should not be arresting an individual for obstructing an officer. But what really is permissible in terms of what played out and also the use of bail? Because this man is someone who has gone on to fight for bail to be made available for every crime whatsoever. But let's listen to Martin Kibu first off.
So somehow it was like dream, like a fairy tale. So my spirits were still up. I mean, when I was taken into custody, I was here to, be undressed, and then you do the custody gowns and those. So my spirits were still very high because I knew that I hadn't done anything wrong. Look, what they've actually done is that this is a suicide mission that Kissie Jabin's OSP has embarked on. Yeah, he can pretend he has nothing to do with it, but he's the head, okay? The one who called the policeman to arrest me, he's called Seth Ablomensa. He's the chief of staff at the OSP. He's the one who directed Mr. Opoku, the policeman, to arrest me, right? And what was it? You see, earlier on in the day when I went in there, I came out to grant this is an interview. In the morning. So when I returned, then there was a soldier, can you imagine, who come to what a soldier is doing at the OSP, performing police duties. We'll leave that aside. But when I got back into the OSP, then one of the soldiers told me, and by the way, they weren't wearing name tags. They didn't have name tags, and yet they were performing police duties. And there were two policemen too. So one of the soldiers told me that, by you, we allowed you to park. You see, the tone we allowed you to park was like, even parking was a favor. So I didn't understand. Next time, when you come in here, we will not allow you to go out. So I retorted that, no, he has no right to curtail my rights. In any event, I'm just there to help, right? They said, come and give further information. I'm not under any investigation. I'm not a suspect. I'm not an accused person. So then I continued going. Then a colleague of his, another soldier, then shouted to me, that next time I do that, I will see. That's what I said, next time. So that kind of threat, the Ghanaian English, next time you do that, you will see. In Ghanaian English, that means he will cause me some harm. You will see. There will be consequences, even if it's not physical harm, but there will be consequences. So I turned and gave him the same answer that no, he has no right. I'm not a suspect. Even a suspect, can you do that? So I said he had no right. Then next thing I knew, he said, I'm stupid. That's what the soldier said. The soldier said, I am stupid. Oh, of course. So I turned back and told him that he's also stupid. So we exchanged a few words. And then one of my lawyers pulled me for us to go in. We went, and then, as usual, the OSP chose to present employees. When we had made it clear at the second meeting that, look, considering that almost all of my allegations are against Kissie Jabin, who is the special prosecutor, and these are his subordinates. The subordinates can't do much about their bosses. Martin, they say do that. Can you investigate, if let's say, Mr. Nyama, your this COO? You can't investigate Mr. Nyama, much less the MD. So that's the same thing. And even before I was invited, Ghanaians had said it on various social media and private messages to me that how can OSP investigate itself? But you know me, I'm a law-abiding citizen. I thought that as long as they can do something to accommodate that, to show independence, I'm willing to give the information. In any event, I'm almost done. I'm presenting the petition to the president for onward submission to the CJ. I have a lot of charges. As I'm talking to now, I have over 15 charges against Kissie Jabin. I'm not running away from this fight. So the least they shouldn't have even tried it. You don't try such a thing. You see, you don't try such a thing. It just tells you the very incompetency. My arrest and detention underscores the incompetence with which Kissie Jabin sat down and allowed Ofuriatta to run. Kissie is not up to scratch. Kissie has never been up to scratch. Because you see, how would you arrest people when I'd already said it? Today is 3rd December. I mentioned on 2nd of November, you can check on the key points, that I'll be presenting a petition for its removal. So such a person like me, and you know me, once I say I'm going to do this, I'll do it. So just stay clear of. Look, I don't mind the arrest, even assuming the exchanges with the soldier were illegal and so amount to something that they want to arrest. Remember, in law, there's a difference between arrest and detention. The arrest is you touch the person, you are under arrest, I'm investigating you for so and so offense. So when you are done, admit the person to bail, right? Then let the investigations continue. Can you imagine? Said Appiah-Ampofo said, yes, they were admitting me to bail, but I should bring a property in my name. For words, so a soldier insults me, Martin, you are stupid. And I also tell him you are stupid. That's the effect of the words. So that's the reason why you were detained? Yes, that I should bring property in my name. And where's the indenture? Fortunately for me, my office is just about 10 minutes from the OS. I have indenture in the office. So when we argued, my lawyers argued for about 15, not that continuously 15 minutes. My lawyers made a plea that, look, I should be given self-recognizance bail, right? And then said, Appiah-Ampofo said, okay, he would go consult. So he stepped out. So we thought it was going to be a favorable response. So when then subsequently he came in about 15 minutes and said, no, they would not do so. They will not vary the conditions to give self-recognizance. So then I told Mr. Marcelinus Bia, one of my lawyers who accompanied me, okay, Marcel, go to the office. I have indenture in my name. Just bring it. And my office is just, you can see, you can attest. There's less than 10 meters drive to the OSP. So Marcel came. Long story short, so Mr. Appiah-Ampofo asked that I be handcuffed and taken into custody, that it was too late, and that even when we brought the indenture, they would have to do verification. So practically talking about justification for exchanging words with a soldier who didn't know the right thing. He's not supposed to be performing police duties. A soldier performing police duties in the OSP. See the very thing we've been talking about. Article 210 of our Constitution is clear that, look, you soldiers for war and then maybe some development activities. But here you had the police, two policemen in there. And so if anything, if you think the building is under threat, anything, you use the soldiers as backup. But if you go to the OSP, the soldiers are performing frontline duties. You see, this thing I've been mentioned that soldiers are taking away the work of the police. You see it has manifested. It's not only in the Galamsey fight. Now, ordinary OSP, soldiers have taken away the work of the police, performing frontline duties. If you think the building is under threat, let the soldiers be at the back. Let the soldiers be at the back. What are they doing front line? And there was a policeman. Now, let me repeat with all the emphasis. Look, get it. You see, as I mentioned, the policeman who initially came and told us to move, we shouldn't do the interview where we were. You know, when I came in, he said nothing to me. He's Mr. J. I don't see his first name. Usually, they'll just put the surname. J. He stood there. He was quiet. Then I went past him. But these soldiers who couldn't contain it. So you see that there's a difference in the training. Police are trained differently from soldiers. Soldiers is war, high aggression. So for them, they couldn't contain it. So the policeman who came and, just like we're doing this interview, told us to move from there. We're not on the direct frontage of the OSP. The interview was being done on an ECG facility, which is near the entrance. So perhaps ECG to provide backup electricity for OSP and the other buildings in the area. But when you go there, you see that this is an ECG facility. So that's where the interviews were being granted. But even then, when Mr. J, the policeman, came and said we should move, the Joy News cameraman and Fatal, the journalists who were interviewing me, they were questioning his authority because for them, they were clear that this is an ECG facility, not OSP. Look, their camera, I'm sure, were live. It will bear me. I had to intervene that, look, I don't want to argue. You see, like we say, to paraphrase, when you go hunting for an elephant, don't concern yourself with rabbits, snails, and those things. No, we knew that Kisie Jambi must leave because he's incompetent, he's corrupt, etc. That's the thing. So I didn't want the story to expand. So the moment the policeman, Mr. J, said we should move, you even see, I'm sure their camera, the Joy News camera will capture. You see me pushing them that, no, let's go. I don't want an argument. So I pushed them. So we went off the ECG facility and did the interview further off. Then I walked in. When I walked in, so the policeman who came and asked us to move, so I met him. He didn't say anything. I bypassed him, still going to the OSP yard. Then these soldiers who have bad temperament, you see, like I said, very bad temperament, their work is not police duties. I don't know what is so, dangerous about Kwebu that you have soldiers supplanting police.
So that's Martin Kpebu, and it's a very extended conversation he had with his namesake, Martin Asidu Date, as well. That's his version of accounts, exchange of words between himself and the military officers stationed at the frontage of the office of the special prosecutor is what resulted in his arrest. I mentioned that the office of the special prosecutor has sought to clarify the developments there. I'll read that in bits and pieces as well, and it's titled "Clarifying the Issues Surrounding the Incident Involving Martin Kpebu." The story is by Samir Dako, Director, Special Prosecutor's Office. A pattern of misconduct is the first theme they write to. This is not the first time or even the second Mr. Kpebu has acted improperly toward OSP security personnel in the discharge of their lawful duties. After each incident, he publicly presents a completely different version of event. Having monitored his conduct for some time, it became clear that unless his interactions were recorded, he would misrepresent the fact. A notable example is his false claim that there were 16 petitions calling for the removal of the special prosecutor. When confronted by KSM on his show, he admitted that he merely repeated what he heard someone say on Newsfile without verifying it. It is concerning that a lawyer would make such a statement without checking the facts. The second, which they raise, is the investigation is separate from his allegations. Now, they say that the confrontation at the OSP has nothing to do with the ongoing inquiry into the unsubstantiated allegations he made against the SP and the office. He continues to claim that he is gathering evidence and will eventually present it to an OSP board, despite knowing there is currently no board in place. This behavior follows a similar pattern. He refuses to cooperate, demands that certain officers be removed from the panel, gets his wish, and then introduces a new obstacle. Fortunately, the investigators have continued their work professionally despite his lack of cooperation and abusive conduct. Misleading the public about investigators is the third theme. They say that Mr. Kpebu repeatedly misleads the public by claiming that those handling the case are junior staff, when in reality their ranks are equivalent to deputy commissioners of police. He also falsely claims that the OSP is investigating itself, which shows either a misunderstanding or a deliberate misrepresentation of institutional processes. Fact-finding committees exist to establish facts, not to pronounce guilt or innocence. Police misconduct is not investigated by fire service officers. GRA misconduct is not investigated by immigration officers. And alleged misconduct in one university is not investigated by another. The principle is the same. They go on to what actually happened at the premises. Event at the gate. Upon arriving, Mr. Kpebu parked his vehicle and stepped outside the gate to conduct an interview. He always does this, brings in media men to speak to them before entering and after exiting. Security personnel cautioned him to move away from the entrance, so he moved to the fried yam seller spot and continued speaking to the media. That part interests you. There's a fried yam seller there. Afterwards, he entered the compound alone. The guards reminded him that photography and videography are not permitted around the premises. Escalation and arrest. He reacted angrily to the reminder and insulted the guards. They issued a formal warning about his conduct, but he insisted he could act as he pleased and threatened to report them. He told them that they are nobodies, even their boss, head of the agency, is nobody and will be removed soon. His continued insult and obstructive behavior led to his arrest for the offense of obstruction of officers in the performance of their duties. He was informed of his arrest on suspicion of obstruction in accordance with the law. The arrest was executed without force, and there is no internal record of any assault or mistreatment. They speak to the subject of bail. Following the arrest, bail was granted according to standard administrative procedures. The conditions were explained to him and his counsel. However, one of the lawyers refused to leave the premises until Mr. Kpebu was brought back. She insulted officers and created a scene, all of which were recorded despite her behavior. Officers removed her gently and without force. Their professionalism deserves commendation. Mr. Appiah was transferred to a secure holding area as part of normal processing. Public concerns have been raised about the detention location, but internal records show that all the transfers followed protocol. At no point was he denied access to counsel or due process. Finally, the claim that the OSP fell into a trap is unfounded. The office has not fallen for any trap. It has simply applied the law to protect its personnel and maintain order on its premises. The office is clear. Connections, public influence, or media prominence do not place anyone above the law. If this was intended as a trap, then the OSP passed because it acted strictly within legal and procedural bounds. Such unruly behavior would result in an immediate arrest at any law enforcement facility. Could he attempt this at the police headquarters or the NIB headquarters? They ask. Mr. Appiah is expected to report this morning at 11 a.m. after bail was granted last night for further investigations on the offense of obstruction of justice. A different date will be announced for his continuation of inquiry into his allegation of corruption later. That is the version of account of the Office of the Special Prosecutor.
And that is a typical example of measuring in the minors. And fortunately or unfortunately, the Director of Strategy and Communication is a seasoned media person. I'm sure he understands public relations and communications. And a different person would have written the same statement very differently.
Very different, yeah.
So it goes back to the point I keep saying
that the communication has been a problem.
It is a big problem for the OSP. Charlie, it's not everything that you have to show that you know English. It's not everything you must show you know English.
The law is the law. Oh, this one, the law is not the law.
Charlie, this is not necessary. This is very needless. And you know, off air, I was telling you that it is very possible that the head of the institution, the SP himself, knows nothing about this incident. It's very possible. And this statement confirms that feeling I had. I mean, oh no, Charlie, this one, dear. No.
I mean, I'll be very honest.
Obstruction of justice, a duty.
I'll be very honest.
Oh no.
It's a charge that, respectfully, hasn't been placed before a court yet, but I don't see how that sticks anywhere. If it was an altercation of words, use of words, and no defense to say that, because insulting someone is defamatory. It is not something which is supposed to have you. So I want to understand properly. Perhaps you are the lawyers. In what world does exchanging words with a lawful officer, you haven't said you will not be arrested, amounts to obstruction. So yes, I'm trying to recreate the scenario based on what Mr. Appiah said and the version of account by the OSP.
That account even corroborates portions of the statement that Martin Appiah gave.
So if I am entering a space, is it no? It cannot be unlawful entry because he was invited into the space, and so he was in the space.
He was invited.
Then Martin says he was called.
And you cannot invite me and tell me that you are not responsible for my parking.
I don't want to enter into those parts because
but that is
I understand.
That is the root of everything. From both accounts.
From both
accounts, it started with where Martin Appiah had to park.
Yeah.
And number two, going back to grant an interview. That is what triggered all of this.
I'm just trying to.
So we invite a resource person to a panel discussion on our show. They get to the gate, then Super says, you can't park here. I mean, how is that possible?
I want us to stay off, you can't park here. I'm trying to recreate the scenario.
Charlie,
because we'll talk about something else.
Let's talk about something.
But let me just recreate that scenario, right? So I'm entering and they say you this, that. And I say, Sixtus, you can't tell me that. You say, I am stupid. I say, you two, you are stupid.
You are stupid.
And we exchange words.
Typical Ghanaian behavior.
No way. And then I proceed to enter the office. And then I am told that because I was exchanging words with you, an official of the state, I have obstructed you in the performance of your function.
They have to demonstrate that.
Yeah.
They have to demonstrate that.
I respectfully think that
they have to demonstrate that.
Stick. Respectfully.
And you issue a statement to explain this? Come on.
Tariffs are expected to go up.
If the director did not have a media background, my approach to this would have been very different. But he's my senior by far in the practice. Well, I don't know. It's not every media person who is a public relations person or a communications person that we can all agree on. But the mere fact that you have practiced in the media before gives you a certain level of experience that you don't necessarily have to sit in a PR class to be able to handle certain things. You get it? But he is our senior in the media by far.
Yeah.
And he's worked for reputable media organizations. So some of the things that I see coming out of the OASP, it is really not. And for me, I blame that interface, because that is what lets us into the heart of the OASP. That communication unit is what lets us into the heart of the OASP. The OASP can be doing a lot, but if the communication is not proper, if it is condescending, if it is I know it all, if it is, and Ghanaians will not take kindly to some of these things. In Ghana, everybody knows, and everybody has a right, which right must be respected. So the fact that you are the office holder does not mean you know it all. Or you, Charlie, let's move on.
Tariffs are expected to go up. Trade Union Congress has been reacting to this. They're saying, look, this is like robbing Peter to pay Paul. I heard the news yesterday as well. We know that they were in that long drawn meeting. When I say they, I mean the utility service providers. I remember when they were asking for over 200% increase and the likes. This is what they were given. 9.8% for electricity, 15.9% for water. Those are the increments which have been afforded. And Labour is not happy. Labour is not in the least happy at all about this. And
sometimes I ask myself whether the PURC is for the public or against the public, whether it works for the utility service providers or it works for the public. I mean, we yesterday I was talking about the hypocrisy of food vendors. We all say that prices have gone down, fuel is gone down, dollar is falling, or CD is catching up to the dollar, and then the prices are still high, and they argue that no, CD and fuel have no influence or direct correlation on their.
Who argued
on their? Oh, we had that discussion yesterday, and I said that was hypocritical. It's the same thing we are seeing here.
It cannot be. Can never be. Will never be.
Live in this era. Then we are still getting increments. Meanwhile, the conversations we have always had about leakages, I'm not sure we are getting any responses to those conversations. I'm not sure. So
revenue leakages? What leakages?
No, even leakages about? in the
distribution.
In the distribution. So whether it's water or it's power.
So illegal connections.
All those things. So I'm wondering, PURC, are you for us or you're against us? Are you for the service providers or you are for the public? Or your interest is to ensure that none is shortchanged? The service provider gets what he deserves, and the consumer also pays equitably. It has to come.
I think the PURC has to speak to us today.
It has to come again.
They need to explain why this percentage increase, and it's taking effect on the 1st of January. I know, so I'm torn in between giving the utility service providers the deserved increment, but I'm also asking, because I remember some months ago, just about 2 months ago, when they announced tariff increases, I spoke to Dr. Eric Obute, who speaks for the PURC, and I asked very simple questions as to why the benefit of the city's performance had not reflected in any of the tariff reviews that we've seen, because a number of things go into tariff increases. Yes, there is the production costs and a host of other important matters, but what cannot be discounted is the performance of the city as well, because for electricity, for instance, it's produced in dollars, it's sold in cedi, and so when the cedi was depreciating against the US dollar, we saw that tariffs were being hiked to correspond and seek to try and balance it out, because no matter how well you are able to sell, you always be in a deficit because you are buying in dollars and you're selling in cedis. But now that the city has begun to appreciate, it's performed creditably for the entirety of 2025, we didn't see a resultant decrease in tariffs. The explanation we got then was that there were debts that needed to be cleared within the energy sector. And luckily, because of the good performance of the city, we were using the windfalls plus a subsequent increase to clear that debt. We cleared it, and even after we cleared it, we were so slapped with increases in tariffs. And so now I want to understand why the 9.8, because yes, the utility service, ECG for instance, said they wanted 200% increment in tariffs. I'm not sure they got it. Why didn't they give it to them? What justifications do they have for giving them the 9.8%? That's why I'm being too careful in not saying that, look, are you for us or you are against us? Because when the service providers went there, they provided justification as to why they needed 200%.
Yes.
And so the PURC has looked at 200% and said, I'll give you 9.8, which is like 10%, and 15.9, which is like 16%. So let us understand, when do we begin to see like the result? And for water, we know that because of the cost of treatment, Galamsey and its added effect of making the water very expensive to treat is one of the major reasons why they are asking for increment in their tariffs. And so let's mirror all of that, or have that context in all of the conversation, even as we proceed on that score. But most definitely, the labor unions are not very pleased with the development.
If you want to increase tariffs, then do something about the 9%. Is that not what they said? You must give us more money. Recall when we were discussing this, I said whether 7% or 9% or 20% would depend on the prevailing conditions and cost of living.
Absolutely.
So we are going back to that same point. 9% might be good, it might be okay, but the least trigger, then you see that people say, no, it's not enough. So I don't know if it's too late for PURC to try another round of discussions.
I think they've gone past it.
They've gone past that stage, because they would have had the regional tours and then ended up at this announcement. But they have to. PURC really has to look at it again. Otherwise, the gains that are being made by the government, in working out, trying to let us have a good or stable exchange rate, ensuring that the market is good for us. All of those gains will begin to be questioned.
I am, again, like I said, I am tempted to understand the water situation, particularly the water treatment, because it is becoming expensive to treat water in this country because of Galamsey. And so for water, it has a direct correlation to the activities of Galamsey and the fact that 60% of our water bodies are polluted, heavily polluted. In fact, they've been shutting down treatment plants because of the silt components coming through. And so I am just tempted to believe that there is some justification in that front.
No, there definitely will be a justification.
For the energy space, the electricity is where I want explanations further from PURC. You said they'll ask for justification.
No, there will definitely be a justification. But is the justification justifiable? Unfortunately for us in this country,
nobody ever wants to pay more.
Unfortunately for us in this country, we really have nobody speaking for the consumer. We have nobody speaking for the consumer.
Set up a consumer rights.
I agree with you.
You and I.
You are telling your employers that you want to set up something.
No,
on this
I'm saying because nobody ever really speaks for
I'm
the
a loss in his calling. Go and explain why you want to.
No,
anyway, but Mawuena, allow me to take you back to the OSP issues. I'm getting a lot. Maybe you may want to check under our stream as well. I'm getting a lot of messages on the side. I'm not sure. I don't know whether they want me to even read this. So I'll read them without mentioning the names, because the thing the OSP must understand, particularly the director of strategy and research. Same's position is what again?
I never really, but I just know him as the communications director of the Office of...
Yes, no, it goes beyond communication. Yes,
director of... Okay, so I'm actually on his Facebook wall, but I just see director at Office of the Special Prosecutor. I think he's director of communication strategy and one other thing, which always seems to escape me. But he's director of strategy as well, and research. And research. So director of communication strategy and research.
You see, particularly the statement, and I've noticed that anytime there's an issue from the OSP and the statement comes, the statement attracts more public uproar than even the incident itself. You see, let me read these messages, and we can start with
tilapia.
We haven't done our tilapia moment in quite a while, and I think tilapia captures it aptly. Priorities: fight against corruption. Then you have former government appointee climbing up and running away. The flight is already.
There can be no other individual but one person.
I don't know who tilapia is talking about.
There can be no other individual. If you not say it, I'll say it.
It says away.
Because that one individual is why we are where we are today. And
there's a private sector worker behind bars already, but the government appointee, he has awayed. So if you are following us on our socials, you would see that beautiful, thought-provoking one from tilapia.
You mentioned a number of the messages.
Yeah, so let me read this. So, assuming Kisi did not know about the arrest, how long did it take him to hear? As a question. Did it not occur to any senior person present? It is obvious Kisi was expecting Martin and would be on speed dial with the case officer while Martin was there, even if he was not. So, assuming that, did it not occur to any senior person present that there would be media present when Martin arrived? What plans did they make for that scenario? So those people allowed a useless side issue due to their own internal poor planning to cause them an own goal. All these are questions, though. In their own statement, they mentioned his media prominence. They didn't plan for that. What did it take to make reception arrangements from the head of security to the case officer ahead of his arrival? Another question. They've set their own trap and must suffer for it. Very poor operations management. They need help.
The Office of the Special Prosecutor.
So how this arrest had nothing to do with the substantive reason for his invitation, look at the public uproar and castigation. Ahead of the real matter yet to begin, they are toast.
And these are messages which are coming.
And these are messages that are coming in. And these are senior people who are sending these messages. The other one I want to read, but I don't want to read again. So somebody says, we are not crucifying him again. We are burning the cross and the SP. So you see, I started by saying that these side issues draw uproar and make people not even realize the essence of the office. Well, in any case, I still stand for the office. If you are crucifying the SP, office we cannot.
When we return after the newspaper review and after the phone-in segment, we'll get into this conversation proper, because former Speaker of Parliament, Professor Mike Aaron Okoye, yesterday spoke as well about the office of the Special Prosecutor.
How many times do you hear that man speak?
And he spoke to us yesterday
to this issue
and said he had no business inviting Martin Kpebu in the first place over the allegations he had made, and has questioned why the office is in existence, and that the Director of Public Prosecution should be handed the keys to deal with corruption-related matters and not the office of the Special Prosecutor. But let me just read a few more of the messages on our stream as well. This one is from Neron de Boanegis, is a usual follower. The OSP is power drunk, even from the way their communication director Samed Ako talks, arrogant and no respect. Listening to the OSP is funny. That's Inusa Rashid. Neron again comes back to say, even their own statement gave them up. You arrest the man and let his lawyer go for the same reasons he was arrested. Is it? Yeah. Quite interesting, actually. So he was arrested for obstruction because he said he was causing a nuisance. Then he said one of the lawyers was engaged in the same act, but you didn't arrest that person. You know, so Neron has actually raised a very important point, that even their own statements gave them up. You arrest the man and let his lawyer go for the same reasons
you arrested him.
Very, very important point Neron makes, actually. I have to give that to him. Is it the Kpebu I know who is being described by the OSP this way? That's Kojo Fiagbe. Neron comes back to say he's power drunk, and that's why he talks anyhow and arrogantly. Then Jerry Donko speaks to the issues of tariffs, says that from all the things we've heard that happen at ECG, misuse of revenues, etc., I am convinced they make so much, and that's why they went on the spending spree. So why the increase in tariffs? Do they enjoy robbing we the citizens? Somebody should come and explain to us why they want to increase the tariff. And Jerry, we'll seek to ask those questions for you this morning as well. Let
me take a final one from Bracco Powers. He's one of the people we speak to very often. He has actually written about it. He sent me a link to a publication he made. What happened to Kpebu is reprehensible, no question. But it is also the routine experience of countless Ghanaians. These practices have existed within our security agencies for decades. And there's another portion of the statement I wanted to read. But you see, what he said also reminds me. You know, there was a guy who was arrested for making allegations of galamsey against Ashanti.
That guy is
I understand the guy is still in custody. Why?
Please, we beg you.
Why? Why is this boy still in custody? The man has made allegations.
Defamatory comments are not...
Take him to court. In any case, let the officers who the allegations have been made against, let them take the man to court.
Yeah.
Why has it become a state fight?
It cannot be. And there's great disappointment in the continuous defense of that singular act. It cannot be. Must not be. Should not be.
An individual made defamatory comments against a public officer.
You see, the whole idea that
cannot go to court and sue for defamation. It has to become a burden on the people. So the Republic is now taking the case against what's the guy's name again? I'll get the name. I'll mention it.
But the entire idea that, look, let us show him something small, right?
which is terrible.
It is, I believe it is what happened in this instance with Martin Pebu. It is what is happening with the instance of the young gentleman who has been engaged or was engaged in that tirade against some persons. Look, you cannot use law enforcement agencies to settle private scores.
I recall the uproar when this man he made some allegations against the former first lady. And
Bongo Ideas.
No, not Bongo Ideas.
Works with one of the Akan stations and was picked up. I think there was a storming of the radio station. We all know the individual, but there's a name that's escaping us.
So this guy is called Wendell. The name I'm looking for, Wendell. I'm not getting Wendell Nana Yao Yeboah. He's the one who made the allegations against the Ashanti regional minister and some other person, saying they are involved in
President Mahama
Galamsey operations.
We beg of you. You're a media person at heart. You've been since... In fact, he's paid his GJ dues for life.
Yes.
And so if there's anybody who, for no particular reason, will want speech to be criminalized, it is you. Please. Who, for whatever reason, this Wendell man is still in police custody. Because that charge, you Sixtus who is here knows it will not stick. Publication of false news, creating fear and panic and what have you. I don't know how they are going to substantiate. To say that someone is engaged in activities of Galamsey, I don't know how that creates fear and panic. And so, please, cause the young man to be released and take him on for the defamatory comment he made. But to continue to keep him in detention,
it is wrong.
Absolutely. In every sense of the word. It's been more than a week.
A week.
It is so wrong.
No, it is wrong.
Must not happen.
Oh.
When it happens under a previous, we will criticize. It must not happen.
It is wrong.
Because things like this happened under the actual administration and they were strongly criticized. It must not happen. It must not be seen to be happening under this administration. We beg you, release the young man. Let him go home to his family and drag him to the court to answer for the comment he made, because the law affords you the right to do that, but not to keep him in police custody.
In any case, if the allegations are against the public officers, are the public officers being investigated? Is there any investigation going on against the Ashanti regional minister and the other person? Are they being investigated based on these allegations? If they are not being investigated, why are you detaining the person?
Let me talk to you about Rosebank International University quickly, and so that we can get onto the phone lines and have you share your thoughts with us as well. Because as a world-class university right here in Ghana, goes by the name Rosebank International University. It's a strong South African university in a brand of the ADVTech Group, Africa's largest private education provider with 146 schools across 5 countries and over 100,000 learners, and partly owned by the World Bank through the IFC. Rosebank International University is fully accredited by the South African Qualifications Authority, the British Accreditation Council, GTEC in Ghana City and Guilt in the UK, and Capsicum Culinary Studio. At Rosebank International University, we offer a Doctor of Business Administration, DBA, MBA, Master of Science and Master of Philosophy in Digital Marketing, Bachelor of Supply Chain Management, targeting professionals in freight forwarding, customs, etc. We offer hospitality and culinary arts available at diploma, undergraduate and postgraduate levels. Our ICT has BSc Information Technology in Business, Systems and IT Computer Application Development, all carefully designed to equip you with the skills and qualifications needed for a successful global career. Our mission is simple: inspiring excellence. Admissions are now open for the January 2026 intake. Visit our modern campus at Airport Commercial Appiah House, Accra, or apply online at www.riuc.edu.gh. Rosebank International University, building global citizens. We're back after this break, and then we pick your calls. Stay with us.
92.7 3.
Years been long. Deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up. Years been long, deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up. Years been long, deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up. Years been long, deadlines, hustle.
Have you call us? Do that quickly. 055-924-2717, 055-691-0154. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Good morning to you. Trust that you're well.
Good morning to you too. This is your brother Nana Mwako calling from Esuboi in the East.
Nana Mwako, today you're my first caller. Talk to us quickly.
Mawuena. I don't pay me find check and maybe on our party that when I can compare with them. Mawuena, I am no one I am a thing say, Metri in Sambia say, oh, NDC, a mamu because in May, yes, I ever took that you see any water being from January going. I yet Ghana, I think $1 back from the Bia Kofama, Ghana for a Koma in Helm. And I may a mania, a mamu, $1 from the Bia from no. And yes, I took. Electricity ben water be mubi mana and then some say pay and next and okay before be one say a show so because be a public of the I'm saying Gamania and the China they took a press conference there and go na the best say I'm paying for say that intimidation e ko for them so all the almost of the can you had and other can in the boss no there you know mo nya adwun the benefiting one with the bar power and then was more Bianca, our God, Hajimana, with a Mawuena, yes, the one. I'm a more research with you. But to Kuma, I'm a more man come from Mama, Obumagana for us. I'm a more and I'm a more. I'm more Bianca, and then book tower anything about the Melfa, and then Moody bar power. I don't know because of the Canam Quatino, because of the Canam say, because of the Canam say, and what they say, because of the Ocasio, one can you get to the good Emlano. Hey, criminal labor, yes, rule. Criminal labor, yes, bro. You say you're democracy, Obianca, the opera, Obianca, the Hano. I don't you I don't find
Thank you. Thank you as well for calling Nana Mwako from Esuboi. We may have lost the other caller on the phone line, but someone else has come through quickly. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, Mr. Mawuena.
Yes, sir. I trust that you're well.
I'm good, and this is SK, reaching from Amasaman.
SK in Amasaman, fantastic having you call us. I trust that you're well. Talk to us.
I'm well, please. Now, I want to say something concerning how let me say Mr. Kisejabi is handling the matter regarding Mr. Keno Furiata. He sat down looking on and allowed this man to leave the soil of Ghana. And now he turned around to fight an innocent. Therefore, we are saying that he should also be apprehended until he produces Mr. Furiata. This is my way. Thank you.
Thank you very much as well, SK, for calling. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Mawuena.
Yes, sir. I trust that you're well.
This is Taku. You are doing well. This is Ike Lord, calling from Zelupon Katamanso.
Claude, I'm doing fantastic. It's good to have you call us, talk to us.
Thank you. Mawuena, you see democracy. So democracy no enchese usoli akan bibi a upiu. Sana me pese mi nuan mo ti ase. democracy and just usolia can be a woka uni evidence beyond honke can into your sha yenfen ye. That is a being so no. Obeshima yen juma onhwem yen juma no nya jo kire no no ye den den obeko ah why ya die ade amati pe wu kan oboa why ya die ama your friends and ofoli ata can Zacchaeus oko Zacchaeus ko ye no ye busa ho asem anu abeto na nsem a kire yen e na why ye wo the red alert no nke ka ho identity na say okay ye musa identity na ye red alert na free o tisia wunye wadwuma na wunye wadwuma yi a ba o mes ya beka ho asem ya ka ho asem na obaka se ya chi obi ya deteni na ene de ye nso so wa ha aba no onya ne ntem na we na ye de aba no omonya ntem no mu hwehwem na tom be pam no mo pam kiseja bi na nka se so mo chi no tum abo man ne ka iska be brawa yusu no ye hu so mfa so bia mo man no e me no mi ye taxpayers ene ye di twa ne ka enti sa wo ya de na nya ne ka eno nkyere so beba be gina ka se wo di tani obi wo ho me ka kire no be bibia wo bia won tie no on hwe se obeya ade pa onya ade pa o ma pani gandrama ni ma ye to aba ma aba ne ma ye ma wa hoodin enye kise jabe nkwa ne betinya ka special prosecutor ho dem peta ayi na nsem no ne ye to no yen yinu fio na yisifo no nso I do my call. So I'm
Thank you very much, Claude. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Honorable Mawuena Sixtus.
Yes, sir.
Bright near because of
Bright and Aboso, good to have you call us again. I trust that you're well. Talk to us.
By the grace of God, my use opportunity in Pacho, many Honorable Johnny, Pacho Seno.
Yes, Johnny is well.
Yes, Pacho Yanawachi and Mamichia Honorable Alaji Kondo in charge of operation. Any Honorable Peter T and Honorable Madi Jibri and Honorable Courage McAfee Nepepu LTDC. Mr. Greater Accra Regional Minister Honorable Lydia Okru. Yara Christmas Festival no mo. The best street light no. Yes, street light enye juma no. Omombo modern say on between 50 street light no. Edi amagana for ama Greater Accra. Abra ye kodi bronya idea. Na ekromu intimation kakra en for magana for. But I say
I'm saying absolutely. We need
yes. Ehunya pa ehunya. Enti Honorable Lydia Kuyesre na o promises obey say jumana maye. Ba sila yehu ba abra ye kodi bronya idea. Ombo modern say ni MCs no and obeshe omo say omo nye juma no. Omo nye say juma no famboa because the light extra and Macron for so and robu bebre. Yes, any power.
Thank you.
Special prosecutor. Yeah, they can want them sao. Now my honor my chiku why then and I special prosecutor. HSA young coachino. Cha office na kasano yes and John Dramani Mama. A Bogana Foka. A sika yes say okay. And yes no because so far this office nearby no. You won't say the results will be a break Ghana for.
Thank you very much, Bright, as well, for calling. Let me get to another caller on the phone line. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, sir. I trust that you're well. Give us your name and where you're calling us from, please.
Your family, the Great Ally,
Great Ally, talk to us.
Yeah. My name was your constituency MP. Madam Elephant Akrogodaya at Antoine East MP Mr. Agbosorten and Kamechia Papa. Master, it says the Osha the OSP a yellow. A bro that general in Tiaso because in interested intention yet all your catch yourself the fatty corruption amount for 80 Ghana. Na ya dear office we amount udi be yesa jumano the particular wo odi yesika pa finance minister can ofurata what be at national say what plan no say onu na wo US want man chino amba ama for e kasa after na o kasa se omunko arresti lawyer Kwebu sisi a omunko arresti no bebia omudi no koye no obi antini ena adwuma papa bempa na oya a ye Ghana taxpayers a hwe adwuma de ye a ye taxpayers sika ye di tuaka for ye adwuma 7 francs de normal ewu hia no onye de a ehia ye no eno na oye mfoso be na wo so.
Thank you very much, Great Alaya, as well, for calling. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, sir.
Good morning.
Talk to us. Give us your name and where you're calling us from.
Please, my name is Aziz Dome.
Aziz in Dome.
Yes,
talk
sir.
to us.
Thank you. Pacho Momentia TDC Director, Charisma Cafe, Yakupo Nshano, and Lawyer Zuma, about them Bono, Oko Domeko Biano Swa, Honorable MC, Honorable Agbo, Yakupo Nshano, and Setagboy, Yamisha, and so. Whether me Pacho, Yan Kano Cre Enchire Ghana, Nayan Kano Cre Enchire Yahu. Say, Eradi Yakopo, OFC no. Odi Ghana odi adwene di agro fokin we mpo na ekire se omudi adwene e di agro e banise na ya pieces ya di letter ebrewa no se police ni harate.
Hello? Oh, looks like we may have lost him on the phone. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, my brother. How are you?
I'm doing well. What about you? Give us your name and where you're calling us from, please.
I'm greater than Accra. Mahaja Ali Makumapa, the freedom fighter from Medina. How is Johnny?
Johnny is doing well, actually. Johnny is very well. It's very, very well.
Thank you. Whenever he calls or you meet him, extend my warm greetings to him.
I will do that. Haja. Talk to us quickly.
Thank you. Let me say kudos to the National Security Coordinator for the way he's handling this country. In fact, especially we the women, we are very happy. You can walk freely in this country now. No fears, but they should intensify the security in town as Christmas is coming. My brother, when you go to school, you are taught to 2 times 2 is 4, isn't it? So if you are given an exam to write and you are asked 2 times 2 is what, and you say it's 6, it means you are wrong. You get a wrong mark. If you want your teacher to appreciate your work, you have to write 2 times 2 is 4. So we are in this country. We know how Martin Kwebu was talking about the OSP not arresting, not doing anything. When he said he invites somebody and the person didn't come, that is it. If they invite you and you couldn't come, won't you be arrested? So that it will show that, oh, boss, what you are teaching me, I'm beginning to do it. You understand? What you are telling me to do, I want to do it now. You see, this country, we shouldn't be taking things for granted. This OSP, me, even though we are also saying what we are saying, but the truth is that OSP alone cannot arrest everybody. Operation Oral, recover all the loot. Isn't Mr. Kwebu part of them? Who did they arrest as of today that we are listening? We are carefully listening to them. Who is being arrested under Operation Recover All Loot? Or who was published that this person looted this and we are about to retrieve all? They should tell us. The OSP is doing his own. The oral too should bring their report and let us see. The Attorney General should also let us see who they are prosecuting. The what do you call it? Where my brother is the former journalist, Raymond Nacha. Yoko should tell us what are they also doing.
They are also doing. All right. Thank you very much, Hajia, for calling as well. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Mawuena.
Yes, sir. Trust that you're well.
To God be the glory. My name is Abolo. You can call me Mr. Common Sense.
Abolo, let's hear from you quickly.
Executive Director of Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Park, your own brother Collins. I say good morning to him this morning. And Chief Fire Officer Mawuena, Chief Fire Officer, I greet her this morning. And Honorable Interior Deputy Minister Oklitelabi. Mawuena, I love the way my sister Aja said it. You know, the problem at the OSP is their communication department. I think that's where the problem is coming from. Mawuena, is it true that when a red alert was on Kenuforiata, it becomes state-to-state affairs and Attorney General have to take over? Is it true that, as I just said, Yoko and other departments, what are they also doing? Me, I can't talk to OSP department, but their communication department is not doing the department well. If not so, I don't think all pressure should be on OSP. OSP is there to just investigate corrupt issues. That's all, the only corrupt issues. But it looks like now oral job that Attorney General have to do because the communication is not good. Everybody is just eyeing on this. Is it true that it's the Attorney General that's supposed to deal with American government to bring in Kenuforiata? It's not OSP job.
Thank you as well for calling. I'll just pick two more callers quickly and then we wrap up the calling segment. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Opanikas here.
Yes, sir. Talk to us quickly.
My name is Pesipoko, calling from Onabo Sedamafenyo constituency, Amasamai.
You are my last but one caller, and so do it quickly for me.
Okay, Opanikas here, none of the major, Ochi program, papa. Okay, let's say me, mommy, when for regional minister. When say me near back over the camp, once I'm say, and Kanye Bola, as a greater Accra, a yajin samun. Mammy, Miss Row. It's we need you for nurse form. Number discipline, Emra Greater Accra. Me Yankani, me Asantini. So when I go to my region, I am proud. Semenya regional minister, Dr. Franka Mwakohini, no deliver successfully. By Greater Accra, a fee, and in Kanye Ninadum, and so capital Tani Greater Accra. And you say you have a seat. Sanyama we ball any a year dunduma. Now minister now the same.
Right.
A dear now person but me show Monya for Eduji and Monya for Obo.
Thank you very much. Final caller for the morning. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, my brother. How are you?
I'm doing well. Talk to us quickly. Pardon?
This is Frederick from Angloga in the boat.
Frederick, quickly for me. You're my final caller.
Yes. My brother, I want to ask this question. They say the ECG is coming to increase the utility and water bills. I want to ask the government. So far, they have been taking Dumso levy. What are they using the money for? We demand accountability.
Absolutely.
Not every time about Kenuforiata here, Kenuforiata there. You see, Martin Kwebu have been in the news criticizing the OSP. Where you also have a role to play. Like my sister said, you are part of Aura. You are not up and doing. You did not publish anybody who looks anything from the public. But here you are criticizing someone for wrongdoing. And you go to the person premises, hold the press conference and attacking the person, verbal assault for that matter, knowing very well you are a lawyer. Is that the conduct of a lawyer? So he's been arrested. I don't see any crime with that. He is also Ghanaian, and nobody is above the law.
Absolutely.
When Fancy Comedy is arrested because of data, the NDC communicators say it is a good thing. And Chamau to me to have been arrested for no crime. And they say it's a good thing. So, Miss White, that case is not a criminal case. It's a civil case. For that matter, we all know. But those people have been intimidated wrongly. And Martin Kwebu become a hero or gold, that he's untouchable. Is that what they are telling us?
Thank you very much, Frederick, as well, for calling. But I think we've been on the show as well. We've been saying that, free speech should not be criminalized. And so we do not back any arrest of individuals for purposes of them delivering a speech which you do not like as an individual. Akosia is here to do sports for us. And as a Chelsea fan, boy, must I say, I am terribly disappointed and ashamed of the team, because from doing 10 men against Arsenal and losing to Leeds, just nothing ever makes sense about that team. And before anybody else will say it, I'll say it myself.
As someone who knows this pattern of Chelsea and how they play, I'm actually disappointed you are disappointed.
No, there was heavy rotation.
After winning against Barcelona, I'm sure you you guys knew that you were going on probably a 3-match losing streak. So it was quite surprising. I'm
not sure it'll be a 3-match losing streak.
Everybody knew you were going to lose at Leeds, even if you had all your players available.
Oh no, I think the performance would have been different.
No,
I believe the performance would have been different.
This is a classic,
very, very disappointing.
Classic Chelsea performance.
And I have no words. I have absolutely no words. Then the defending was horrible. Jesus Christ. But anyways, what do we have in terms of sports today?
Well, so Accra had to vote for the second time in the FA Cup round of 64. A second division team has bundled them out of the tournament. And
I'm not sure it's a good sports day for me. I have to focus also out of the FA Cup. Well, come and do sports here. Let me run out of the studio.
92.7 3 FM.
This December, give your kids what they really want. Your time, your full attention. Cerelac in partnership with 3FM presents Family Fun Day. #FamiLac 2025. A full-day adventure packed with games, family competitions, live performances. Happening Friday, 5th December at Good Park from 9 a.m. To register your family for free, dial *928*12*11#. For vendor bookings or inquiries, call or WhatsApp us on 053-11-00927 or 05.
It has been long. Deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up.
It's time for sports update on Sunrise with me, Akusia AJ, and today we'll be looking at these stories. Remember that the World Cup draw is happening tomorrow, and head of 3 Sports, Mawuena Ampofo, will be in Washington, D.C. to give us all the updates. So you do want to follow us on all of our socials where the updates will be coming in thick and fast. And also, we have to know that for the World Cup draw tomorrow, FIFA has lined legendary multi-sports stars for the event. So it includes 7-time NFL Super Bowl champion Tom Brady. There's a National Hockey League champion. He's won it 7 times as well. There's Aaron Judge of the New York Yankees and 4-time National Basketball Championship winner and Hall of Famer Shaquille O'Neal. They will all be assisting football legend Rio Ferdinand at the draw tomorrow. FIFA has also announced that December 15th, players should be released for the AFCON. And Accra had to focus, I said early on, have been bundled out of the FA Cup. And then in basketball, struggling Clippers release NBA great Paul.
.7 3 FM.
We started with the FIFA World Cup draw. We're blending sport, entertainment, and spectacle like never before. The show that's the World Cup draw will reveal the group stage matches for the first time ever for the 2018 FIFA World Cup, marking the beginning of a new era for the world's game. FIFA legend and former England captain Rio Ferdinand, one of the most celebrated defenders of his generation, will conduct the draw, assisted by award-winning international broadcaster Samantha Johnson. Together, they will guide audiences through a truly unprecedented draw. As per the official procedures, joining them on stage will be an extraordinary cast of cross-sports icons from American football, basketball, baseball, ice hockey, making the final draw once again unlike never before that has been held. For those who will be assisting, as I've earlier on mentioned, it includes Shaquille O'Neal, Tom Brady. They are all going to be assisting in that draw, which will happen tomorrow. We are reminded that all updates concerning the World Cup draw will be live on 3 Sports, all our social media, so you want to be following us. To the African Cup of Nations, which will be hosted in this month in Morocco, as African internationals preparing for the 2025 African Cup of Nations will remain with their clubs for an extra week after FIFA confirmed the players will now be released no later than December 15th, easing concerns across European leagues. Before Wednesday's announcement, teams faced the prospect of losing their African players as early as December 8th, a scenario that had drawn complaints from several European sides. In a statement obtained, FIFA said the adjustments followed fruitful consultation with key stakeholders, noting that CAF showed a spirit of solidarity in agreeing to push the release dates back by a week. Let's now do some women's football, as the Black Queens, they have currently arrived in the country after wrapping up their 2025 football season with a spirited display despite a 2-0 defeat to the Lionesses of England at St. Mary's Park. Remember, the Europeans scored a goal in each half through Lucia Kendall and Alicia Russo, but the performance from Ghana offered plenty to admire, as one of the brightest performances on the night was Samatex ladies goalkeeper Cynthia Finbet-Conlan, who produced 7 crucial saves. Her outstanding efforts did not go unnoticed, earning high praise from the coach Kimlas Bjorkegren.
Actually, that no one really had picked her. I know that there have been interest from both England and the US. I mean, we are talking about the quality goalkeepers. She's young, she's tall, she's really fast, she's moving quick, and amazing goals. So it's, I think at least now someone should offer her a good contract.
Well, Coach Kimlas Bjorkegren almost turning into manager agent Kimlas Bjorkegren for Cynthia Finbet-Conlan. Now we talk about the MTN FA Cup, as Accra Hartlepool has been bundled out of the competition by Division 2 side True Life FC. Ghana Premier League side Hartlepool, they were knocked out yesterday after suffering a 1-0 defeat. The Division 2 league side beat the Phobians, as I said, by a 2-0 at Accra Hartlepool's training grounds in Pobiman. Last year's semi-finalists Atram Devise also traveled to the Ni Ajay Kraku, the second park in Tema, to stand Vision FC by a 0-0. Ghana Premier League champions Babiani Gold Stars also beat Beseka Holy Stars 1-0 away. Now let's hear from some Accra Hartlepool fans who were not happy at all after their exit from the FA Cup.
I don't know how Umugu and Masisa. What's in Amia? Me problem ni Mobia. Me say FA Cup, Africa, and a leg Africa. So I say, oh, boy, FA Cup for first 11 ball. Not just 3 points. Let's go, baby.
I say, coach, you know, the first 11 now, what they are banana and yeah, but players no so players no so who go big a club like True Life. How many Auroras and they are the same thing. Let's say, we know move. I got to do. Mas na house of folk now when who was one say. Better class of folk. Matia class of folk. Yeah, who's who here? What for coaching course? What for it? Me a captain for me coaching soon. I swear. Free captain man, you know you need pedigree. But last year you need vision, you was Lagos. I'm born in United. You coach no ujina who be. The ball I hear boss who are. You say coach no Brana. Say na say performance ni here. Performance ni here. And no go any match. Wow. Eti result wey say ko to call FA Cup no wafa.
Bon second division. Now to me Shana. This is only good enough to because for the second division team for one now to the second team that just let's move on. Who had the 3,000, 2,500 and the 4,000. Now to be the second division team and Bobola. Coach in FC, blessing answer.
Well, some very angry Accra Hartlepool fans after their exit from the FA Cup round of 64. 2024. Remember that this has also been a year where in the first round of the Ghana Premier League, Accra Hearts of Oak lost in the Super Clash to Kumasi Asante Kotoko. To some other stories where a 3-member contingent of the Ghana Table Tennis Association are currently in China to participate in the 2025 ITTF-sponsored High Performance Program for Young Talent. The team comprising of Juanita Pote and Israel Akli, with Cynthia Kwabi as the head of delegation, will take part in the elite training program from December 4th to 13th of December 2025 at the Shindu National Key Table Tennis Training School. Israel and Juanita are both on the Olympic Solidarity Youth Athletes Development Program. They will be receiving support from the ITTF with targeted training programs in preparation for competitions and tournaments. The program is a significant opportunity for Ghana young table tennis talent, providing them with world-class training and exposure to international competitions. The leader of the Ghana Table Tennis Association, Mawuena Sixtus, expressed his enthusiasm about their invitation, stating this rarefied invitation is a significant opportunity for the nation and for the participating players and officials, as the Global Youth Training Camp is an elite one for the team. We go now to look at the Premier League. As Mawuena said, he's not a happy person because his team lost to Leeds United. And so let's look at that story as we progress to the English Premier League, where Arsenal defeated Brentford 2-0, extending their lead at the top of the table with goals from Mikel Merino and Bukayo Saka, maintaining their unbeaten run across all competitions. Aston Villa produced the comeback of the night, winning 4-3 away at Brighton and Hove Albion. After falling behind 2-0, Villa surged forward with a brace from Oli Watkins and 2 additional goals to secure a thrilling victory. Elsewhere in England, Leeds United continued their strong home form with a 3-1 win over Chelsea, piling more pressure on the London side after another disappointing performance at Anfield. Liverpool were held to a 1-1 draw by Sunderland. The visitors struck first through a long-range effort before Liverpool equalized late on through an own goal, deflecting in a shot from Florian Wirtz. After the match, Arsenal head coach Mikel Arteta said he was proud of his team's display, even with several rotations in the lineup.
Rest, that's quite a positive word to use. Yeah, we had to make some changes. We had a very, very demanding week at every level, emotionally, physically, what the game demanded. In the tactical and technical aspect of it, we were asked to play 3 days later, 1 less recovery than them, and still performing the way that we've done it against a team that is super well coached, very well organized, that they are very clear how they want to generate big chances, and they are really good at doing that. So 1-0, we knew it wasn't enough. I don't think we conceded anything apart from the save that they had to make on the corner. But the game was always open, you know, and we needed that extra energy to close it. And maybe when we didn't have it, we had the courage to take the ball under pressure.
Arsenal manager Mikel Arteta. Meanwhile, Chelsea boss Enzo Maresca admitted that Leeds United fully deserved their victory, saying his team's performance fell below expectations.
Yeah, no, I think they were better than us in all the aspects. They deserve to win the game. There is nothing that we can take from this game. The only thing we can do is try to understand the mistake we have done, try to reset, because again, in 48 hours we have one more game.
Chelsea manager Enzo Maresca after their defeat to Leeds United. We now hear from Liverpool manager Ancelotti, who reflected on his team's missed opportunities after they failed to secure back-to-back wins in the Premier League.
So I knew before the game, when you play Sunderland, I think from the 14 games they played now, they've only conceded 4 times more than 1 goal. And in these 4 games, they've only conceded 2. So it's a hard team to score against. It's a hard team to create your chances against, because they either go really aggressive in a high press, or they have 11 players, 10 outfield players and a goalkeeper who defend their box with their lives. and that's why it's so difficult to create. So in that aspect, I was hoping for more, although I knew how difficult it is to create against them. I think, again, we've hardly conceded. The first big chance of them was, I don't count the shot that hit the bar because that was not a chance. But the first serious chance was from a set piece that hit the post. And then their goal is, in my opinion, not even a chance. If that is a chance, we've probably had 20 chances tonight. But unfortunately, a deflection led to going 1-0 down. And then recently, in our recent games, we found it really hard to get the equalizer.
Liverpool manager Arne Slot. To some basketball stories before we wrap up. The Los Angeles Clippers have released 12-time NBA All-Star Chris Paul following their side's dreadful start to the season. The Clippers, who have lost 14 of their past 16 matches, announced Paul's departure before their match against the Atlanta Hawks. Paul, who is 40 years old, is regarded as one of the best players in the NBA history and is competing in his 21st and final season in the league. That's it for the sports on Sunrise. My name is Akusia AJ. Thanks for listening.
.7 FM.
This December, give your kids what they really want. Your time, your full attention. Cerelac in partnership with 3FM presents Family Fun Day. #FamiLac 2025. A full-day adventure packed with games, family competitions, live performances. Happening Friday, 5th December at Good Park from 9 a.m. To register your family for free, dial *928*12*11#. For vendor bookings or inquiries, call or WhatsApp us on 053-11-00927 or 053-220-0927. Family Fun Day, powered by Cerelac and brought to you by 3FM. This December, give your kids what they really want. Your time, your full attention. Cerelac in partnership with 3FM presents Family Fun Day. #FamiLac 2025. A full-day adventure packed with games, family competitions, live performances. Happening Friday, 5th December at Good Park from 9 a.m. To register your family for free, dial *928*12*11#. For vendor bookings or inquiries, call or WhatsApp us on 053-11-00927 or 053-220-0927. Family Fun Day, powered by Cerelac and brought to you by 3FM. This December, give your kids what they really want. Your time, your full attention. Cerelac in partnership with 3FM presents Family Fun Day. #FamiLac 2025. A full-day adventure packed with games, family competitions, live performances. Happening Friday, 5th December at Good Park from 9 a.m. To register your family for free, dial *928*12*11#. For vendor bookings or inquiries, call or WhatsApp us on 053-11-00927 or 053-220-0927. Family Fun Day, powered by Cerelac and brought to you by 3FM. This December, give your kids what they really want. Your time, your full attention. Cerelac in partnership with 3FM presents Family Fun Day. #FamiLac 2025. A full-day adventure packed with games, family competitions, live performances. Happening Friday, 5th December at Good Park from 9 a.m. To register your family for free, dial *928*12*11#. For vendor bookings or inquiries, call or WhatsApp us on 053-11-00927 or 053-220-0927. Family Fun Day, powered by Cerelac and brought to you by 3FM. This December, give your kids what they really want. Your time, your full attention. Cerelac in partnership with 3FM presents Family Fun Day. #FamiLat 2025. A full-day adventure packed with games, family competitions, live performances happening Friday, 5th December at Good Park from 9 a.m. To register your family for free, dial *928*12*11#. For vendor bookings or inquiries, call or WhatsApp us on 053-11-00927 or 053-220-0927. Family Fun Day, powered by Cerelac and brought to you by 3FM. This December, give your kids what they really want. Your time, your full attention. Cerelac in partnership with 3FM presents Family Fun Day. #FamiLat 2025. A full-day adventure packed with games, family competitions, live performances happening Friday, 5th December at Good Park from 9 a.m. To register your family for free, dial *928*12*11#. For vendor bookings or inquiries, call or WhatsApp us on 053-11-00927 or 053-220-0927. Family Fun Day, powered by Cerelac and brought to you by 3FM. This December, give your kids what they really want. Your time, your full attention. Cerelac in partnership with 3FM presents Family Fun Day. #FamiLat 2025. A full-day adventure packed with games, family competitions, live performances happening Friday, 5th December at Good Park from 9 a.m. To register your family for free, dial *928*12*11#. For vendor bookings or inquiries, call or WhatsApp us on 053-11-00927 or 053-220-0927. Family Fun Day, powered by Cerelac and brought to you by 3FM. This December, give your kids what they really want. Your time, your full attention. Cerelac in partnership with 3FM presents Family Fun Day. #FamiLat 2025. A full-day adventure packed with games, family competitions, live performances happening Friday, 5th December at Good Park from 9 a.m. To register your family for free, dial *928*12*11#. For vendor bookings or inquiries, call or WhatsApp us on 053-11-00927 or 053-220-0927. Family Fun Day, powered by Cerelac and brought to you by 3FM. This December, give your kids what they really want. Your time, your full attention. Cerelac in partnership with 3FM presents Family Fun Day. #FamiLat 2025. A full-day adventure packed with games, family competitions, live performances happening Friday, 5th December at Good Park from 9 a.m. To register your family for free, dial *928*12*11#. For vendor bookings or inquiries, call or WhatsApp us on 053-11-00927 or 053-220-0927. Family Fun Day, powered by Cerelac and brought to you by 3FM. This December, give your kids what they really want. Your time, your full attention. Cerelac in partnership with 3FM presents Family Fun Day. #FamiLat 2025. A full-day adventure packed with games, family competitions, live performances happening Friday, 5th December at Good Park from 9 a.m. To register your family for free, dial *928*12*11#. For vendor bookings or inquiries, call or WhatsApp us on 053-11-00927 or 053-220-0927. Family Fun Day, powered by Cerelac and brought to you by 3FM. This This December, give your kids what they really want. Your time, your full attention. Cerelac in partnership with 3FM presents Family Fun Day. #FamilyLat 2025. A full-day adventure packed with games, family competitions, live performances happening Friday, 5th December at Good Park from 9 a.m. To register your family for free, dial *928*12*11#. For vendor bookings or inquiries, call or WhatsApp us on 053-11-00927 or 053-220-0927. Family Fun Day, powered by Cerelac and brought to you by 3FM. This December, give your kids what they really want. Your time, your full attention. Cerelac in partnership with 3FM presents Family Fun Day. #FamilyLat 2025.
There's been long deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up. There's been long deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up. There's been long deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up. There's been long deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up. There's been long deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up. There's been long deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up. There's been long deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up. There's been long deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel. In the silence, something was growing. The journey continues. The calm before the storm. force that was born to speak. You can't bury rhythm, it rewrites itself. Louder. Every signal lost finds its way back to the source. This is not a comeback, it's a recalibration. This is the takeover. This is Trigmatic on 3FM Drive. Driving you home with good vibes, good conversations, and the freshest hits. Hop in, take a ride. Trigmatic on 3FM Drive. 3FM, your urban lifestyle radio. In the silence, something was growing. The journey continues. The calm before the storm. You can't mute a force that was born to speak. You can't bury rhythm, it rewrites itself. Louder. Every signal lost finds its way back to the source. This is not a comeback, it's a recalibration. This is the takeover. This is Trigmatic on 3FM Drive. Driving you home with good vibes, good conversations, and the freshest hits. Hop in, take a ride. Trigmatic on 3FM Drive. 3FM, your urban lifestyle radio. In the silence, something was growing. The journey continues. The calm before the storm. You can't mute a force that was born to speak. You can't bury rhythm, it rewrites itself. Louder. Every signal lost finds its way back to the source. This is not a comeback, it's a recalibration. This is the takeover. This is Trigmatic on 3FM Drive. Driving you home with good vibes, good conversations, and the freshest hits. Hop in, take a ride. Trigmatic on
92.7 3FM. 92.
This December, give your kids what they really want. Your time, your full attention. Cerelac in partnership with 3FM presents Family Fun Day. #FamilyLac 2025. A full-day adventure packed with games, family competitions, live performances. Happening Friday, 5th December at Good Park from 9 a.m. To register your family for free, dial *928*12*11#. For vendor bookings or inquiries, call or WhatsApp us on 053-11-00927 or 053-220-0927. Family Fun Day, powered by Cerelac and brought to you by 3FM. This December, give your kids what they really want. Your time, your full attention. Cerelac in partnership with 3FM presents Family Fun Day. #FamilyLac 2025. A full-day adventure packed with games, family competitions, live performances. Happening Friday, 5th December at Good Park from 9 a.m. To register your family for free, dial *928*12*11#. For vendor bookings or inquiries, call or WhatsApp us on 053-11-00927 or 053-220-0927. Family Fun Day, powered by Cerelac and brought to you by 3FM. This December, give your kids what they really want. Your time, your full attention. Cerelac in partnership with 3FM presents Family.
The years been long. Deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits waves crash, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up. Years been long, deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crash, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up. Years been long, deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crash, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up. In the silence, something was growing. The journey continues. The calm before the storm. You can't mute a force that was born to speak. You can't bury rhythm. It rewrites itself. Louder. Every signal lost finds its way back to the source. This is not a comeback, it's a recalibration. This is the takeover. This is Trigmatic on 3FM Drive. Driving you home with good vibes, good conversations, and the freshest hits. Hop in, take a ride. Trigmatic on 3FM Drive. 3FM, your urban lifestyle radio.
.7 3FM.
If you were hidden under a cave or under a stone, it's that over the last 12 plus hours, private legal practitioner Martin Pebu was arrested, detained, and subsequently released by the Office of the Special Prosecutor in what has got a lot of Ghanaians talking, asking questions about the powers of the Office of the Special Prosecutor, particularly on the basis upon which Mr. Pebu was arrested. Obstruction of a law officer, right? Obstruction of an officer. Essentially, that's the description. Obstruction. That's been slapped on the basis upon which he was arrested and detained. He is expected to return at 11 a.m. today. And in the aftermath of his arrest, when the reports came through exclusively to us here at TV3 and 3FM that, look, his lawyers even could not reach him. He had been taken to a facility unknown to them and they were in search of him. It got people talking. Lots of Ghanaians talking, lots of individuals asking questions. Perhaps I'll start off from there, and there's just one voice I'm going to have us hear in relation to or with respect to this particular subject matter of the flurry of reactions which we saw in the aftermath of Mr. Pebu's arrest and detention. And that's none other than the former Speaker of Parliament, Professor Mike Aaron Okwe, who spoke to us yesterday. It was a very lengthy interview. I need to be very honest. I'll try my best to have us listen to a great chunk of it, from which we will proceed then to engage a bit more other persons. We'll hear from Martin Pebu himself speak briefly as well after he was released from this detention, his expectation to return today. I'll read you bits and pieces of the OSP's account of what happened, and then we'll subject this to a bit more in terms of scrutiny, right? To Alfred Okansi yesterday when we were going through that breaking news segment for you here on TV3 and 3FM.
Most unfortunate, and even more so, because we need a certain amount of stability, peace, decorum in this republic to go about our developmental matters. Very, very, very important. In the first place, the special prosecutor did not even have any business involving inviting Mr. Kwebu there. If Mr. Kwebu says you are corrupt, you can sue him, or can you refer him to another agency if you think there's a crime to look into that, because your business is to investigate corruption. If Mr. Kwebu being charged with corruption, he's definitely not being charged with corruption. Therefore, we mustn't just mix things up. Because I want peace in this country. One professor of political science, Huntington, wrote something very typical of the whole of Africa. He says, we are a Praetorian society, confusing everywhere. People are abusing power everywhere. We don't strengthen our institutions, we just proliferate institutions. Instead of making the Attorney General's Department very strong to prosecute, we create something else. Those who lived at the time of this well-known DPP, J.K. Dako, will know how strong the Attorney General's Department has been before. And I believe that this is because we are not creating strong institutions. We keep on just proliferating and adding upon. Then we get confused in the process. I think what is happening now is very unfortunate. And all well-meaning Ghanaians must really condemn it. You know, bail being used to show people where power lies is not a yesterday matter. We have known it since legal practice decades ago. Bail being manipulated in this regard. There is no principle of law anywhere in any civilized country whereby the bail that must be justified must have a landed property in the name of the person who is a suspect. Because does that mean that people who don't have landed property therefore can never get bail? 92. What is this? Because these are matters of principle, issues of law, issues of human rights. Now, because they can't really get the man on what they wanted, they say that, oh, why did you give an interview? You want to suppress his freedom of speech? You cannot question his granting an interview. Let us know this in this republic. You cannot question any Ghanaians giving an interview with regard to any matter. For that matter, how do you now, a policeman, whoever is that person may have been, now accost Mr. Kwebu and start having an altercation with him? I believe that this matter is most unfortunate. I have been watching this program, 10 p.m. We don't really know whether the man has been released. If this arbitrariness is allowed to continue, it will be a fundamental violation of the rule of law in this country. I am very, very much in these processes. I watched things from the pre-independence days to today. And some of us just can't stand the disrespect for people's rights. It has been going on anyway for some time in this country since 7th of January. I think this should make us all realize that it's time it stopped. And in fact, I will advocate that we should stop this proliferation of institutions of investigation and strengthen the institutions that are already there. If that should happen, it will help our country.
There's no basis, you say, for Martin Kwebu to be detained as we speak.
I beg your pardon, sir.
There's no basis for Martin Kwebu's detention whatsoever.
There's no basis, Patrick, because if you say you are investigating him for accusing you, is that part of corruption? But that is your mandate. and you must operate strictly within the parameters of your mandate. And if therefore you think he has maligned you, you have to sue him in the civil court or refer him to the NIB or some other investigation body, because you cannot be a judge in your own cause. That is also an affront to the rule of law and the fundamental principle of justice. You see, we should not confuse issues, because Ghana, we should be high up there. And I am particularly unhappy about some of these things which create what I've just described earlier, a Praetorian society. A Praetorian society collapses, and we don't want this country to collapse. It will not.
Now, they're already, even prior to today, questions were asked as to whether the special prosecutor should be the office investigating this said allegation made by Martin Kpebu against the same office, to the extent that this reason why Martin Kpebu is being investigated was an allegation of corruption against the office, and it's the same office that is investigating him. Is that consistent with practice?
No, and that's why I say the special prosecutor cannot be the judge in his own cause. The rule of law affords that ab initio. And for that matter, I say he may either refer him to the NIB or he may sue him in the civil court if he feels he has been defamed. Because the freedom of speech issue is very, very important. The man is well known as a man you can give bail to, and tomorrow morning he will come. What is this kind of onerous bail term that he should bring a landed property and it must be in his own name? A Ghanaian doesn't have to have a landed property in order to defend or pursue his human rights, the right to bail. And that is very, very important. And it pains me, because does the special prosecutor's office know, they want to tell us that they don't know this fundamental issue of law? And if so, then what is Ghana? Where are we going to? Ghana is too good a country to suffer such things.
So that's Professor Mike Aaron Okwe when he spoke to Alfred Okansi during the breaking news development. As the story was developing all throughout the evening, up until when we got exclusive word that Martin Kpebu had finally been released from detention. Subsequently, he spoke to my colleague Martin Asiedu Date as well at his premises after he was released. He was encompassed by a number of persons, family, work associates and the likes. And this is his version of account from what transpired during his engagement at the office of the special prosecutor yesterday as well.
There's an arrest. So somehow it was like like a fairy tale. So my spirits were still up. I mean, when I was taken into custody, I was here to, be undressed, and then you do the custody gowns and those. So my spirits were still very high, because I knew that I hadn't done anything wrong. Look, what they've actually done is that this is a suicide mission that Kissie Jabin's OSP has embarked on. Yeah, he can pretend he has nothing to do with it, but he's the head. Okay, the one who called the policeman to arrest me, he's called Seth Ablomensa. Seth Ablomensa, he's the chief of staff at the OSP. He's the one who directed Mr. Opoku, the policeman, to arrest me, right? And what was it? You see, earlier on in the day when I went in there, I came out to grant this is an interview. So when I returned, then there was a soldier. Can you imagine? We'll come to what a soldier is doing at the OSP, performing police duties. We'll leave that aside. But when I got back into the OSP, then one of the soldiers told me, and by the way, they weren't wearing name tags. They didn't have name tags, and yet they were performing police duties. And there were two policemen too. So one of the soldiers told me that, but we allowed you to park. You see, the tone we allowed you to park was like, even parking was a favor. So I didn't understand. Next time, when you come in here, we will not allow you to go out. So I retorted that, no, he has no right to curtail my rights. In any event, I'm just there to help. right? They said, come and give further information. I'm not under any investigation. I'm not a suspect. I'm not an accused person. So then I continued going. Then a colleague of his, another soldier, then shouted to me that next time I do that, I will see. That's what I said, next time. So that kind of threat, the Ghanaian English, next time you do that, you will see. In Ghanaian English, that means he will cause me some harm. You will see. There will be consequences, even if it's not physical harm, but there will be consequences. So I turned and gave him the same answer that no, he has no right. I'm not a suspect. Even a suspect, can you do that? So I said he had no right. Then next thing I knew, he said, I'm stupid. That's what the soldier said.
On 3FM,
the soldier said, I am stupid. Oh, of course. So I turned back and told him that he's also stupid. So we exchanged a few words. And then one of my lawyers pulled me for us to go in. We went, and then, as usual, the OSP chose to present employees. When we had made it clear at the second meeting that, look, considering that almost all of my allegations are against Kisi Ejabin, who is the special prosecutor, and these are his subordinates. The subordinates can't do much about their bosses. Martin, they say do that. Can you investigate, if let's say, Mr. Nyama, your this COO? You can't investigate Mr. Nyama, much less the MD. So that's the same thing. And even before I was invited, Ghanaians had said it on various social media and private messages to me that how can OSP investigate itself? But you know me, I'm a law-abiding citizen. I thought that as long as they can do something to accommodate that, to show independence, I'm willing to give the information. In any event, I'm almost done. I'm presenting the petition to the president for onward submission to the CJ. I have a lot of charges. As I'm talking to now, I have over 15 charges against Kisi Ejabin. I'm not running away from this fight. So the least they shouldn't have even tried it. You don't try such a thing. You see, you don't try such a thing. It just tells you the very incompetency. My arrest and detention underscores the incompetence with which Kisi Ejabin sat down and allowed Oforiatta to run. Kisi is not up to scratch. Kisi has never been up to scratch. Because you see, how would you arrest people? When I already said it, today is 3rd December. I mentioned on 2nd of November, you can check on the key points, that I'll be presenting a petition for his removal. So such a person like me, and you know me, once I say I'm going to do this, I'll do it. So just stay clear of. Look, I don't mind the arrest, even assuming the exchanges with the soldier were illegal and so amount to something that they want to arrest. Remember, in law, there's a difference between arrest and detention. The arrest is you tag the person, you are under arrest, I'm investigating you for so and so offense. So when you are done, admit the person to bail, right? Then let the investigations continue. Can you imagine Ablomensa said, yes, they were admitting me to bail, but I should bring a property in my name. For what? So a soldier insults me, Martin, you are stupid. And I also tell him you are stupid. That's the effect of the words. So that's the reason why you were detained? Yes, that I should bring property in my name. And where's the indenture? Fortunately for me, my office is just about 10 minutes from the office. I have indenture in the office. So when we argued, my lawyers argued for about 15, not that continuously 15. My lawyers made a plea that, look, I should be given self-recognizance bail, right? And then Ablomensa said, okay, he would go consult. So he stepped out. So we thought it was going to be a favorable response. So when then subsequently he came in about 15 minutes and said, no, they would not do so. They will not vary the conditions to give self-recognizance. So then I told Mr. Marcelinus Bia, one of my lawyers who accompanied me, okay, Marcel, go to the office. I have indenture in my name. Just bring it. And my office is just, you can see, you can attest. There's less than 10 meters drive to the OSP. So Marcel came, long story short. So Mr. Ablomensa asked that I be handcuffed and taken to custody. That it was too late. And that even when we brought the indenture, they would have to do verification. So practically talking about justification for exchanging words with a soldier who didn't know the writing. He's not supposed to be performing police duties. A soldier performing police duties in the OSP. You see the very thing we've been talking about. Article 210 of our Constitution is clear that, look, you soldiers for war and then maybe some development activities. But here you had the police, two policemen in there, And so if anything, if you think the building is under threat, anything, you use the soldiers as backup. But if you go to the OSP, the soldiers are performing frontline duties. You see, this thing I've been mentioned that soldiers are taking away the work of the police. You see it has manifested. It's not only in the Galamsey fight. Now, ordinary OSP, soldiers have taken away the work of the police, performing frontline duties. If you think the building is under threat, let the soldiers be at the back. Let the soldiers be at the back. What are they doing frontline? And there was a policeman. Now, let me repeat with all the emphasis. Look, get it. You see, as I mentioned, the policeman who initially came and told us to move, we shouldn't do the interview where we were. You know, when I came in, he said nothing to me. He's Mr. J. I don't see his first name. Usually, they'll just put the surname. J. He stood there. He was quiet. Then I went past him. But these soldiers who couldn't contain it. So you see that there's a difference in the training. Police are trained differently from soldiers. Soldiers is war, high aggression. So for them, they couldn't contain it. So the policeman who came and, just like we're doing this interview, told us to move from there. We're not on the direct frontage of the OSP. The interview was being done on an ECG facility, which is near the entrance. So perhaps ECG to provide backup electricity for OSP and the other buildings in the area. But when you go there, you see that this is an ECG facility. So that's where the interviews were being granted. But even then, when Mr. J, the policeman, came and said we should move, the Joy News cameraman and Fatal, the journalists who were interviewing me, they were questioning his authority because for them, they were clear that this is an ECG facility, not OSP. Look, their camera, I'm sure, were live. It will bear me out.
So that's Martin Kpebu. It's a much longer detail than this. But I want to go through the Office of the Special Prosecutor's response as well. It's a lengthy one from a pattern of misconduct where they mentioned that Mr. Kpebu has been openly engaged in act of misconduct against the Office of the Special Prosecutor and its assigned persons. They mentioned that the investigation is separate from the allegations, misleading the public about investigators. Then the bit I'm going to get into is what actually happened at the OSP premise. They say that upon arriving, Mr. Kpebu parked his vehicle and stepped outside the gate to conduct an interview. He always does this, brings in media men to speak to them before entering, and after exiting, security personnel cautioned him to move away from the entrance, so he moved to the Friday arm seller's spot and continued speaking to the media. Afterwards, he entered the compound alone. The guards reminded him that photography and videography are not permitted around the premises. Escalation and arrest. He reacted angrily to the reminder and insulted the guards. They issued a formal warning about his conduct, but he insisted he could act as he pleased and threatened to report them. He told them they are nobodies. Even their boss, head of the agency, is nobody and will be removed soon. His continued insult and obstructive behavior led to his arrest for the offense of obstruction of officers in the performance of their duties. He was informed of his arrest on suspicion of obstruction in accordance with the law. The arrest was executed without force, and there is no internal record of any assault or mistreatment. Bail processing and conduct of counsel. Following the arrest, bail was granted according to standard administrative procedure. The conditions were explained to him and his counsel. However, one of the lawyers refused to leave the premises until Mr. Kpebu was brought back. She insulted officers and caused a scene. And this is where people have circled and are asking questions. She insulted officers and caused a scene, all of which was recorded. Despite her behavior, officers removed her gently and without force. Their professionalism deserves commendation. Mr. Kpebu was transferred to a secured holding area as part of normal processing. Public concerns have been raised about the detention location, but internal records show that all the transferred followed protocol. At no point was he denied access to counsel or due process. In all of this, there's a question being asked, right? Whether or not the Office of the Special Prosecutor acted within its powers as handed to it in that legislation passed in 2017, and if arrests will be made on obstruction of officers from performing lawful duty, whether or not the Office of the Special Prosecutor or its personnel should be engaged in activities like that. Have they gone beyond their powers? Are they abusing their powers at this point. On the subject matter of bail as well, that's been spoken about a lot in great detail. Is the Office of the Special Prosecutor using bail as a means to keep people detained? Is another question that's been asked. And we can get onto the phone lines right now and speak to Jean-Baptiste Ayedje. He's a private legal practitioner and a law lecturer at the University of Professional Studies. Counselor, I appreciate you joining us this morning, and I trust that all is well with you.
All is well. Thank you very much, and I hope all is well with you as well.
We're managing, just slight cold, but we're back. We're back in the studio, and so I think all is well. There's this germane question being asked in the aftermath of everything that's happened with the Office of the Special Prosecutor and Martin Kpebu. The first is whether or not there's a concern of abuse of powers. In looking at the act that set up the Office of the Special Prosecutor, Act 959, there are those who make the argument that, look, the office simply went beyond its powers yesterday when it sought to arrest Martin Kpebu for obstruction of officers and subsequently seek to detain him. Where do you stand in all of this?
Thank you. So, for me, the first thing we need to understand is that whenever you are given a state powers, there's always a statute that seeks to regulate what you can do and what you can't do. And all this framed up within the concept of rule of law, because we don't want to have men ruling, but we want to have the rule ruling us. So based on that, and looking at the statutes that kind of establish the OSP, it's clear that I seem to agree with those who are of the opinion that they may have to be going beyond their powers, because everybody knows what they are supposed to do, what kind of offenses that they are supposed to more or less prosecute. So if you look at what happened yesterday as against their statutes, then clearly there's something amiss. And again, I fully agree with them. However, it does not mean that, for instance, in this case, where the OSP is established to deal with, let's say, corruption-related offenses, if someone commits an offense that is different from the corruption-related offenses, nothing can be done. They can rather refer the person to a different institution. So, in my opinion, that's what should have been done yesterday, and not they being at the front dealing with the matter as it played out yesterday.
So they should have been perhaps arresting Martin Kpebu for obstruction, which is the charge they are seeking to slap on him, and then handed him over to the police.
Yes, if what they are saying is true, is what really happened, that should be what they should be doing. Or the other thing is that, of course, you know, we are dealing with Martin Kpebu, all right, who is a senior, who is a lawyer, who is known. So for me, there's not even need to arrest him. You can just write a complaint to maybe the CID or any other, and then they will invite him later for the matter to be discussed. So the arrest itself, for me, is an issue, because there are conditions under which you have to arrest someone, as in detain the person. The law provides for condition under that. And the other condition, you just tell the person that you are under arrest, and you don't have to handcuff and all those things if there's no need for that. So my personal opinion is that if what the OSP are saying, or OSP is saying that happened, really happened, just write a complaint to a different institution, and then they will invite him as in when they think they want to do that, and then the matter will go on. And this is not the first time something like that has happened. It has happened several times where the person will just refer to the other institution, and then the other institution will take it up, and then we invite him as to when they need to invite him.
But I'm looking at the Office of the Special Prosecutors Act, right? And Section 28 says is titled Officers to Exercise Powers of Police. It reads that the special prosecutor and authorized officers shall exercise the powers of a police officer specified in the Criminal and Other Offences Procedure Act 1960 or any other enactment. By inference, someone can argue that if they can exercise the powers of police, then in exercising that powers and arresting someone on the charge of obstruction will fall within their mandate.
Yes, but you see, you read a statute in a whole, as we are taught in law school and as we teach law students. So yes, he's been given power to arrest, but that power to arrest is within the framework of his work. For instance, he's been given, what's the framework of his work? He's been given the power to deal with corruption-related offenses. So when you are dealing with corruption-related offenses, then you can arrest. So that power given to you to arrest is within the framework of the offenses that you've been given to. And for me to even extend it, even a private person, Eric, you can arrest. We don't have the power to arrest. Right. The law gives us a limited power under which we can arrest someone if the person seems to be committed an offense, or the Criminal Act is clear on that. So just saying that because the Act says he's being given power to arrest, right, then that justifies arresting and all that. With the greatest of respect, is not convincing enough to me.
Comes in the subject of bail because he was arrested on the charge of obstruction. Was to be granted bail, and the Office of the Special Prosecutor says, we need a landed property in your name before bail can be granted you. It's not the first time we're hearing things like this. In fact, Iyoko has also been accused of same, and other state agencies. The person in the center of all of this, Martin Kpebu, is one who has sought to make bail available to all persons and has gone to the Supreme Court a number of times on this particular front. To have witnessed that in a matter which many would describe as a misdemeanor, was requiring him to bring a landed property in his name, some say the bail regime as we have it is still seeking to punish people because they do not have certain things, and if you don't have it, you're kept behind custody for a lack of not being able to meet bail.
Yes, Mawuena, I wrote an article here to be published on this issue of bail, looking at the terms and the conditions. And what we need to understand first is that the terms and the conditions are discretionary, all right? And when we talk about discretion, Article 23 and Article 296 are clear on that it must not be used capriciously, arbitrarily, and the rest. So the discretion given to state apparatus to come up with, even it extends even to the court, all right? They must be done fairly. Good. And now let's deal with this matter where there's maybe back and forth. If you look at, I've read the statement of the OSP, which I even have issue with, because OSP is the state apparatus.
We'll actually get into that statement as well.
Okay. So the bail terms for me is harsh and not necessary. I was saying that I wrote an article on that, and I don't understand why. Because the law is clear on that. In plethora of cases, that bail shouldn't be used as a way to punish the client or the accused persons. And I've had several times where I have to go back to the court and ask the court to vary the bail as is known. So for me, it's just not necessary. This landed property, these are some of the difficult, bail terms to fulfill, because now they'll have to go back to the Land Commission and verify if it's true or not, and it could take very long time. So for that offense that was charged against him, and based on whatever we've heard, I mean, you can just give yourself recognizance bill. You go and come back. That one will suffice. So any other bill beyond that, I seem to agree with those who say that it's just an abuse of power, and maybe there could be something more than just trying to, apply the law.
Let's talk about that statement that came through from the Office of the Special Prosecutor now. A bit not in the right framing, not in the right taste, because of the position they occupy as a law enforcement agency. They also make the argument that, look, you should be building trust now at a time when there is increasing pressure on the office, and tangentials like we saw highlighted in the statement raise very, very serious concerns.
Yes, it does. And that's the unfortunate part, because it seems as if we want to major in the minor and then minor in the major. You have what you are supposed to do. You have the expectation of the public on what you are supposed to be doing, and it seems to be more interested. Because look, even before we get into their response and everything, even the reason why Tina Akpebu is being invited to the office, for me, it doesn't even make sense. I mean, legally speaking, or even reasonable man test. I don't think that should even call for invitation. Invitation for what? If the person has made an allegation that you think is false, report the person. You can take a civil matter. Clearly, these are defamatory statements if they are not proven, if they are not true. Because even in defamation, truth is a defense. But if it's not true, then take an action against it. But you, the OSP, calling the person and try to investigate the person, and they claim that it's not investigation. When I was reading the report, there's a point where he said that GRA, when they have a committee and fact finding, that the GRA will do it, and when you have this one, will do it. But is Martin Kpebu a member or an employee of the OSP? Because, for instance, my school where I teach, if I do something that lead to misconduct, the school may set up a committee to investigate it, because I'm an employee. But Martin Kpebu is not an employee of the OSP. So you using that example to justify inviting him, for me, it doesn't even wash. That's the first point. And the second point has to do with even the formats of the statements. The fact that it doesn't even come on maybe the OSP former letterheads and all those things. But I know we live in a time of technology where people can just go on their social media and make statements. But I think we should be more formal, so that, because at the time we look at it and we are not too sure, is it really coming from him? Is it that someone else has done it and all that? So for me, either way you look at it, I feel they could have done a bit better. And, I don't know if they are inclined to listening to the public or getting feedback. If they do, then there's a lot of work that must be done. Because the more they talk, the more we are confused, the more we ask a lot of questions. And I'm not a PR expert, but any institution where anytime you talk, there are more questions than answers, then you should know that something clearly is wrong. And they have to sit up and make sure that things are done well.
And even in the statement, there's a bit where they mention that after Mr. Kpebu was arrested and he was being processed for bail, another lawyer was also insulting and refusing to leave without Martin Kpebu. People have raised questions and said that is obstruction too. How come that counsel was not arrested if Mr. Kpebu was arrested for obstruction? This looks more like a targeted action rather than the OSP actually wanting to tell Ghanaians that he was arrested for obstruction, because another lawyer was obstructing as well, but nothing happened to that lawyer, was escorted rather outside of the premises.
Exactly. You are confirming where I just stopped at, is that the more the issue statement, the more questions we have. And these are some of the questions that they are raising. And Mawuena, if you read the text, they claim that whatever Senior Martin Kpebu did, if it was done at any place, the same issue will happen. There will be an arrest. So if the other lawyer did the same thing, why are you not arresting that lawyer? Then you finish and you praise yourself that they've acted professionally and all that. Clearly, is not really, adding up. So yes, these are some of the issues that I was referring to that seem to suggest. You know, Lord Denny, I mean, is one great judge that every law students, lawyers, and even those who are not law students know about him. Said that it's difficult to, and we all know it, all right, that you can't read a man's mind. You don't know what the man is thinking, but you can only look at his actions to determine what he's thinking. So at this stage, we can only look at the action of the OSP. Then we come to the conclusion that, look, we don't think they have a genuine case against him, and they are just going after him because maybe he's creating a bad press. Because even when you read that statement, you will see that tone. That lawyer Matic Pebu, anytime he comes, he will go and then be telling people that the OSP will be removed very soon, that the OSP is incompetent. Then you can see that there's an issue with what he says as you know, a private citizen who has freedom of speech to express what he thinks about an office than, you know, applying the law. For instance, personally, I've been on record saying several times that office shouldn't even be there at the first place. That is just a waste of the taxpayers' money and should be scrapped. So no one should be, you know, as it were, be, you know, called to answer for sharing opinions. So yes, it is, you know, confirm those suspicions that you spoke about, Mawuena.
Finally, on the office in generality, it has come under quite some pressure. The pressure continues to mount. We understand 3 petitions have gone. There are those who made the argument that, look, based on the concerns and all that was being raised, it really doesn't look like there is merit in any of these petitions, even though we're yet to see the content of the petition. But some of the individuals have been speaking to it. Does this singular action become the final nail in the coffin for Kisie Jabin's reign as the special prosecutor, and by extension, the entire office? Because now the narrative which is growing is that we haven't seen the usefulness of this office. Why must it still continue to exist?
Yes, that could be the final. But whether or not it will lead to any change, we are yet to look at it. But again, I agree with most people who think that we have to take a second look at the office. Yesterday, I was listening to the Right Honorable Professor Michael Kwe, and he seems to be repeating the same thing, that we have to take a second look at the office and the way they operate, because it seems as if it's being used for different things aside what really it should be doing. I don't know if, you know, a lot has been done that we don't know about, but from what we see, it seems as if it's just be using for a different matter. And it was just yesterday that my senior Francis Xavier was saying that they have approved the budget. So if we are pumping money into such an institution, we should be able to see a result. And if we can't, then there's a genuine cause for us to look at it. Would this be the last nail on the coffin? We are yet to see. But personally, I don't know if it will lead for a total scrap. But if not for anything, I think that the person of the special prosecutor and his function, his competence, and the rest should be looked at to determine whether or not he's fit for that office. And if it's clear that he's not fit, then maybe for now we may have to replace him and then bring someone else. But if you ask me, I'll agree with the Professor Michael Kwe, his suggestion that we should rather empower the DPP for them to take over this office than creating, because we keep on creating institutions every now and then, and it's like it becomes waste. The more we multiply institutions, you know, the more the canker, you know, multiply. So at a point, as human beings, we must sit down and ask whether or not, you know, creating more institutions is the solution for our problem. And if creating more have not been able to solve, then we should be able to look at other options, alternative options, strengthening the one that we have already so that they can perform the work. Because, again, let me digress a bit. If you look at even the working of the OSP, some have argued, and I seem to agree with them, that it kind of conflicts because Article 88 is clear on who has the power to prosecute criminal offenses. But we are in a case where at times when I listen to OSP, I feel as if he's on the same pedestal with the AG, or everyone is boss in his own lane and all that. Clearly, which cannot. So we have to take a second look at the office, and then if there's need to change, then we should do that.
Thank you very much. Counsel, I appreciate you joining us and speaking to us this morning on such short notice.
You're welcome, Mawuena.
That's private legal practitioner and lecturer at the University of Professional Studies, Jean-Baptiste Ayaja, speaking to us this morning on the matters in relation to the Office of the Special Prosecutor and its tango with Martin Kpebu from yesterday. A bit more for you in terms of the reactions.
It's not what it is. But like I'm saying, whether or not it is the issue, tomorrow morning I expect this OSP to tender in his resignation. We are not joking in this country. He cannot be using some of these intimidating tactics. Then he is wrong-footed. He has been caught wrong-footed. Because the people of this country that wants accountability are not interested in some of these charades. Martin Kpebu remains a fighter in the corruption business, and that so long as he's calling you the OSP out, if you cannot work, these intimidations will never get to anybody.
Right, but
and I'm saying that yes.
Yeah, so.
Episode again.
.7 3 FM.
This December, give your kids what they really want. Your time, your full attention. Cerelac in partnership with 3FM presents Family Fun Day. #FamilyLac 2025. A full-day adventure packed with games, family competitions, live performances. Happening Friday, 5th December at Good Park from 9 a.m. To register your family for free, dial *928*12*11#. For vendor bookings or inquiries, call or WhatsApp us on 053-11-00927 or 053-220-0927. Family Fun Day, powered by Cerelac and brought to you by 3FM. This December, give your kids what they really want. Your time, your full attention.
92.7 3 FM. 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 92.7 3.
The years been long, deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crash, energy rises.
FM.
And the reason for which he was invited was what has been the result of the previous invitation, to assist.
Now, there is no reason why a person invited to assist with investigations must be detained. And so my view is that if it is in relation to what we've already read and what we already know, there is no basis whatsoever for the detention of Martin Kpebu. And as if what we are telling you is correct, that we don't even know where he is, I am beginning to think that the OSP is abusing his powers. And if he is listening to us, I think he should release Martin Kebo immediately.
.7 FM.
This December, give your kids what they really want. Your time, your full attention. Cerelac in partnership with 3FM presents Family Fun Day. #FamiLac 2025. A full-day adventure packed with games, family competitions, live performances. Happening Friday, 5th December at Good Park from 9 a.m. To register your family for free, dial *928*12*11#. For vendor bookings or inquiries, call or WhatsApp us on 053-11-00927 or 053-220-0927. Family Fun Day, powered by Cerelac and brought to you by 3FM. This December, give your kids what they really want. Your time, your full attention. Cerelac in partnership with 3FM presents Family Fun Day. #FamiLac 2025. A full-day adventure packed with games, family competitions, live performances. Happening Friday, 5th December at Good Park from 9 a.m. To register your family for free, dial *928*12*11#. For vendor bookings or inquiries, call or WhatsApp us on 053-11-00927 or 053-220-0927. Family Fun Day, powered by Cerelac and brought to you by 3FM. This December, give your kids what they really want. Your time, your full attention. Cerelac in partnership with 3FM presents Family Fun Day. #FamiLac 2025. A full-day adventure packed with games, family competitions, live performances. Happening Friday, 5th December at Good Park from 9 a.m. To register your family for free, dial *928*12*11#. For vendor bookings or inquiries, call or WhatsApp us on 053-11-00927 or 053-220-0927. Family Fun Day, powered by Cerelac and brought to you by 3FM. This December, give your kids what they really want. Your time, your full attention. Cerelac in partnership with 3FM presents Family Fun Day. #FamiLac 2025. A full-day adventure packed with games, family competitions, live performances. Happening Friday, 5th December at Good Park from 9 a.m. To register your family for free, dial *928*12*11#. For vendor bookings or inquiries, call or WhatsApp us on 053-11-00927 or 053-220-0927. Family Fun Day, powered by Cerelac and brought to you by 3FM. This December, give your kids what they really want. Your time, your full attention. Cerelac in partnership with 3FM presents Family Fun Day. #FamiLac 2025. A full-day adventure packed with games, family competitions, live performances. Happening Friday, 5th December at Good Park from 9 a.m. To register your family for free, dial *928*12*11#. For vendor bookings or inquiries, call or WhatsApp us on 053-11-00927 or 053-220-0927. Family Fun Day, powered by Cerelac and brought to you by 3FM. This December, give your kids what they really want. Your time, your full attention. Cerelac in partnership with...
The years been long. Deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up. Years been long, deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up. Years been long, deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up. Years been long, deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up. Years been long, deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up. Years been long, deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up. Years been long, deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up. Years been long, deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up. Years been long, deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up. Years been long, deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up. Years been long, deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up. It has been long. Deadlines, hustle, pressure. Now it's time to breathe, to dance, to feel again. The music hits, waves crush, energy rises. You're surrounded by good people and golden light. This is your reset, your freedom, your joy. 3FM All White Party, the beach edition, where paradise meets the party. Labadi Beach Hotel, 28 December. Lock it up.
Yeah, on the 3FM Sunrise. This is a is that a VC or a Vici? Wake me up. We're getting into our next conversation for you, right? Because the health minister has been raising concerns about postings of doctors. And get into that conversation for you right now because there is a problem on our hands. A problem where doctors are not accepting to go anywhere outside of Accra, really, right? Or the major capitals. Particularly in the two northernmost parts of the country, has been zero in terms of reporting levels. Zero. You know what that means? They post doctors there and they don't show up. But there's a general conversation that we need to have, and this conversation must not focus on, the doctors don't want to go there. Why don't they want to go there? They must be made to go there. They must do that. No. It goes far beyond all of that. And we'll seek to try and break it all down for you this morning. We'll stay off by laying the premises on what the minister had to share on the concern. Then I'll walk you through what the numbers are. And if you're following us on YouTube, on Facebook, where we're streaming, you have the privilege of being able to see the graphic content with which I'm going to be displaying. Here, graphic doesn't mean something which is unsavory or cannot be seen. It's just an infographic that's been worked on and we're sharing on our Facebook and YouTube as well, which I'll be reading from, and so you can follow as well. But here's the Health Minister, Kwabena Kando, for starters, on the problem. And then we can begin a conversation as to how we can stem or turn around this particular challenge on our hands.
Posting of new medical officers across the country. As at Friday, that is last Friday. It's not encouraging. We will give them additional 1 week to appeal to them to report to their various facilities where they have been posted. After which we will do what we call validation. Whilst we are also engaging the stakeholders in their respective districts, regional ministers, members of parliament, DCs, chiefs, to facilitate their stay in their district to be able to give up their best. We have started that myself. Engaging them. And so government will also look at how we can incentivize them to give up their best in these districts where they have been posted. We have nearly 50% of all medical doctors we have in this country in Greater Accra alone. Nearly 50%. It's not scary. So at this point, government has taken a decision. That look. Let's.
Health Minister Kwabena Kando there, laying out what the problem is. But let me walk you through what that graphic says, right? And so both in the Upper East and Upper West regions, we know that doctors are not showing up. Show the first one. I'll return to this. But total doctors posted for this year, 463. 305 are yet to report. 305 are yet to report. If I work the math properly, it's roughly only 149 thereabout, or 148 who have decided to turn up at the respective facilities or their respective regions which they've been posted to. And we'll go into the breakdown right now. And this is why it's very concerning, right? So Northeast, Upper East, Upper West, no doctors have turned up. In the Northeast region, 19 doctors were posted to the region, 0. They are yet to report. In the Upper East region, 0 out of 35. In the Upper West region, 0 out of 32. Then in the OT region, there's only 1 who's made themselves available after they were posted out of the 21 posted to the OT region. In the Western North region, 2 out of 31. In the Northern region, 7 out of 32. In the Bono East region, 9 out of 27. In the Savannah region, 7 out of 19. We come to Western region, 14 out of 37 have showed up. In the Bono region, 11 out of 29. Ahafo, 8 out of 21. Volta, 15 out of 37. In the Central region, 20 out of 34. In the Eastern region, 23 out of 36. Ashanti region, 25 out of 33. And then Greater Accra region, 16 out of 20. So Greater Accra, Ashanti, Eastern, Central are the only regions where more than half of the individuals posted have actually turned up. And that, my dear friends and listeners, most certainly is a cause for concern, because already we do not have enough doctors, and yet they are not turning up. There's an entire conversation that can be had about why they are not turning up, and some of the reasons which have been suggested: weak internet or telecommunication services in some of these areas, limited access to clean drinking water, limited education and childcare options, less social and networking, poor road network. Just a handful of the reasons and justifications for which they are not turning up. That's why I said today, when we are getting into this conversation, I want us to approach it in all fairness to all parties who are expected to be a part of the conversation. The doctors in one part, the government and the persons who are posting these individuals to the respective regions as well. What is the expectation? Why are they not turning up? Are these reasons which I have walked you through justifiable enough
across the country?
To have in some of the regions, 0
failed to report
0,
to
3 out of the regions, 0
reported does not mean that the person
not showing up at all.
A troubling trend in Ghana's healthcare system is once again making
concerning. Let's listen to the General Secretary of the Ghana Medical Association.
A troubling trend in Ghana's healthcare system is once
and then
again,
we'll return for a bit more on this.
A troubling trend in Ghana's healthcare system is once again making headlines as a nationwide posting exercise exposes deepening cracks in the sector. 7 out of every 10 medical officers recently deployed across the country, according to data from the Ghana Health Service, have failed to report to their assigned post. Out of 463 newly posted doctors, 305 have not shown up. In the northern, Upper East and Upper West regions, not a single medical officer has reported for duty. This is unfolding at a time when Ghana is already struggling with a long-standing imbalance in the distribution of health professionals. Current data shows that over 80% of the nation's doctors remain concentrated in just 2 regions, the Ashanti and Greater Accra regions. The health minister has since given the newly posted doctors 1 week to report to work.
We will give them 1 more week to report to their various health facilities. We have nearly 50% of all medical doctors we have in this country in Greater Accra alone. It's not scary.
Health experts warn that the disparities are widening, raising urgent concerns about service delivery, equitable access to healthcare, and the country's overall health system stability. What is keeping the doctors away? General Secretary of the Ghana Medical Association, Dr. Richard Solomon, maintains that the narrative suggesting that doctors are refusing posting is inaccurate.
The fact that the person has not reported does not mean that the person has refused posting. So I think that needs to be corrected. This posting just happened just barely, I think 2 weeks or so ago. Some have committed themselves to certain engagements to feed, to be able to live, and they have to disengage. It's also important to note that some have also reported and have been told there's no accommodation.
He wants the Ministry of Health and relevant authorities to address these underlying concerns if the situation is to improve.
So, for example, if you were posted to, for example, Boku, where there are serious security concerns, you will need some assurances of how safe you are to be able to provide the care. If you have been also told, for example, that there's no accommodation available, you will need some assurances of where you're going to stay so that you can respond to emergencies at the middle of the night, etc. And so these discussions must happen, and that is what we are feeling, that beyond just issuing the fiat, it is important that conversations like this happen, and those that have certain genuine concerns, we address those issues so that they can go. So it is not a matter of they've refused, they've not refused, and they don't want to go, and what is that?
Concerns have been raised about.
Dr. Richard Solomon, that report by my colleague Noble Crosby, and Dr. Thomas Anaba is MP for Garu and a member of Parliament's Committee on Health. He also set up a civil society group, which it was very regular. I spoke to him quite a number of times here on 3FM and on TV3, and I've had the privilege of speaking to him now that he's been member of Parliament as well in his office. Doc, I appreciate you speaking to us this morning, and thank you very much for joining us here on the 3FM Sunrise.
Thank you for having me, and good morning to your cherished listeners and viewers.
I trust that all is well with you. It's been a while since we spoke. I haven't been a very good friend, if I can call it that.
That's okay. We are all busy.
Doc, I want us to take it from the explanations. I don't want to call them justification, but in seeking to put this into proper context, Dr. Richard Solomon, who is a General Secretary of the Ghana Medical Association, makes very important points. You've posted doctors to regions. Accommodation is not secured yet. They don't know about, in some of the areas where there are security concerns, you're not quite sure what should happen in that regard. Is there a problem? Not with the fact that the doctors are not going, but I want us to reverse a bit with the means through which the posting is done. Because from what he is telling us, it does appear that, okay, the system does its work and persons are just asked to go to Upper East, go to Upper West, go here, go there, go that. And that's where it ends. You're supposed to find your way there and find your own accommodation, find ways and means through which you can stay and work to the benefit of the people there. That appears to be a problem in itself.
Yeah, thank you. I think this issue of doctors not accepting posting to some deprived regions or deprived areas in the country has lived with us for a very long time. A lot of reasons have been given to it, and we know that those reasons are still unchanged virtually. And as we all know, everybody would like to live at the place of his comfort. So at least posting of anybody at all to any place that the person doesn't like, be it a doctor, be it an engineer, be it a nurse, be it a custom officer, a police, sometimes they even lobby to the police, even the security forces lobby to change places. This is just unfortunate. That we are not able as a country to put in the needed conditions that we need to put in place to at least encourage some critical group of professionals to accept posting to any part of this country. That is what we all need to look at. I think several governments have proposed rural incentive, and the package is there. Implementing has become a problem, and I would urge that we look at those conditions being put forward by the associations, as well as the promises that we have all made to ensure that critical professionals are given some special treatment. It is done in other countries. I can tell you countries like Malaysia, countries like Australia, countries like Canada, even Israel have put in certain conditions to give preferential treatment to doctors who accept posting to very difficult places, and even foreign doctors who want to go to those countries, they have special immigration policies for them. That is what we should be looking at as a country, to also have some special policy for those who will be going to deprived areas. If that is failing, then we may have to look at a proportion of our medical training institute schools should be given admissions per quota basis to districts that are deprived. And whoever goes to sign up with the district to take their chance to go to read medicine should go back there and work for at least 5 to 6, 7 years before he can decide to change a place. This is what some of us think that can help reduce the refusal of going to communities that we consider deprived. And besides that, economic development, social development should spread evenly across. Because if I'm a doctor in Accra, there's a possibility that I can get to do a locum in addition to my normal hospital that I'm working. It's possible that if I'm sick, I have more doctors around me to attend to me myself when I'm sick. It is possible that I can get a good school of fame for my children to go to school. It is possible that when I buy my car, I don't drive in potholes, horrible places to get to my destination. All these things are factors that we must look as a country to provide for such critical groups of people. The current refusal, as you have said, they have listed the reasons for refusal, is something that I think the ministry is working hard to get the hospitals, see what they can do to provide them accommodations like they have said. I was in Tamale. When I was transferred from Accra to Tamale, I got there. I had to be in a temporary place for 3 months before they got me a permanent place. This also calls for some little sacrifice. I would always say it. To do medicine, to work in Ghana, to do your national service, it calls for some little sacrifice. I'm not totally condemning the doctors, but I'm just appealing to them that whatever they get for them for the meantime, even if it's a guest house for them to stay, for them to get them a permanent place to stay, I think the hospital should quickly arrange sectors and at least let them come and stay there while they look for a permanent place for them. We must look for means to satisfy the need of at least accommodation for them to be able to go. We can't have everything, all the conditions met within 1 year.
Well, absolutely. But
we
Doc,
must work gradually to fulfill such conditions.
Doc, not to cut you, but that's one thing that's come up for conversation. That shouldn't that be central in the conversation? Because the minister in issuing a fiat says that, look, by 1 week, I'm giving you 1 week to report to your post. 1 week when I don't have a place to sleep. 1 week where the conditions are not conducive. I don't want to go to a place, and I'm just basing on the reasoning of the health professionals here. I don't want to go to a place where I cannot get good schools for my kids. So why should I be going? And you're issuing an administrative fiat to me that I should report in 1 week. I will not want to do that. I mean, they are saying that the conversation can be different and should be different as led by the minister.
No, the issue is that for now, those they are posted are young doctors who have just graduated. I don't think they already have families, they have to move with families. No. And I don't think that the minister is not aware if they go to the place, the hospitals will find something for them. Normally, when you are posted to a new place like this, generally, the hospitals would rent a place for you because they are all going to be district hospitals or regional hospitals. They will rent a place for you temporarily if the old ones haven't vacated, for you to stay there while they look for a permanent place for you. I know for sure that is done. So it is not that absolutely there's no place for them.
Absolutely.
Perhaps the permanent place that they may not get, but at least for the first 2, 3, 4 months, the hospitals would find a place for you, be it a guest house, be it a hotel room, whatever, for you to stay there temporarily. Then they now look for a permanent place. Those who have passed the stage of service and have passed the stage of being general doctors, they find their places and they get a place for you. So I don't think the minister perhaps is speaking out of vacuum. Perhaps instructions too might have been given, has always been given, for the hospital to be responsible in finding accommodation for them. Even I know for a fact that sometimes they come to tell the ministry that, oh, we have a place for these doctors, post them to us, we'll get place for them because they are allowed to rent for doctors. Perhaps the conversation has not gone deep. Let's not think that the ultimatum is perhaps to force them to go to a place that the conditions are not good. But who is going to work in those places to develop the place for who to come and stay? We must all sacrifice. Look, I was a specialist who came from abroad, highly needed in Rich Hospital Cardio Center as an anesthesiologist. And when they asked me to go to Tamale, I packed bag and baggage with my wife, vomiting in the car, pregnant, and went to Tamale.
Right.
We have to sacrifice a little to at least to develop this country. Whilst we call on government and call on administrators of hospitals to ensure that they also provide the doctors who are scarce to come by the needed conditions to enable them to accept posting to go there. For me, I wouldn't say the hospitals would not find them place to stay. They will find place, but it might not be the very suitable one they need for the beginning. And let's please appeal to the young doctors. Please, go and save our relatives. Tomorrow, within 3 months, 4 months, they can find a permanent place for you and a comfortable place for you. Once you are there and the conditions, the hospital themselves knows that, look, this place they are staying is not good to stay for too long. They will definitely look for a rented place and put you, because that is what they are doing all the time. So our appeal to the young doctors, for the sake of national service, for the sake of our patients who are suffering with one single doctor at the hospital or no doctor at all, do the sacrifice and go. And I also call on the public, opinion leaders in our communities with our doctors, to develop a scheme of the public trying to at least appreciate the work of doctors who accept posting to their communities. Because I know of some communities where the chiefs at the end of a month or every quarter would call the doctors, give them some donation, encourage them to stay, even gather funds from well-meaning people from the community to support the doctors staying there. These type of things should be done so that when they come, they believe that, oh, the community appreciates us, they are supporting us. If somebody who has a nice guest house can just decide that, look, I'm giving a room out for one doctor to come and stay there until the government gets in a permanent place, that alone will motivate them to go. We shouldn't leave everything on government. We have traditional rulers, opinion leaders in the communities who are well respected. They should look at this as a concern for them to provide such services free of charge. What is wrong with somebody saying, look, my house, I have 2 bedrooms free. Let the doctor come and stay there till you get in a place. Let me encourage the public to also do this. It will help a lot to get these care doctors to accept posting to these difficult places. I can tell you, Ghana, we have 1/3 of the number of doctors we want. We need 34,000 doctors in Ghana per our population, but we have only 12,000. So it's difficult to get them to go to the rural areas, because even the hospitals in the cities can absorb most of them, especially the private hospitals, can absorb them. We need to do something to to create some, at least to minimize the inequality that exists in this distribution of doctors. That is what the minister is looking at and giving them that ultimatum. They should go. The hospitals, for sure, would find them places to stay temporarily while they look for permanent place for them.
Doc, I appreciate you joining us this morning for this conversation.
It's a pleasure, and thank you very much for having me.
Right, and so that's Dr. Thomas Anaba. He's the executive director. He was the executive director of the Africa Center for Health Policy Research and Analysis. Doc, is that position still there, or I can come for it now? Since
you can come for it.
He's a member of Parliament for Garu as well, and a member of the Health Committee as well. Doc, I appreciate you speaking to us this morning, and hopefully, when we have a conversation again about posting, the situation will be a lot better.
I pray the situation gets better very quickly so we don't have people rejecting posting. Thank you very much.
That's Dr. Thomas Anaba speaking to us this morning here on the 3FM Sunrise.
.7 3FM. 92.7 3FM. 92.7 3FM. 92.7 3FM. 92.7 3FM. 92.7 3FM. 92.7 3FM. 90.
Time for us to wrap up in a couple of minutes, and it's time for us to do birthdays this morning here on the 3FM Sunrise.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you.
If today is your birthday, a glorious birthday to you. Happy, happy, happy birthday. But let me say this one to Mary Mawuena Kwabi, who's the CEO of Omoli's Bar. You're a testament of God's faithfulness. You bring joy to all in your circles, and we don't take that for granted. Make Apito, Zonkomi, and the other local drinks for the party, because we will be there.
Just come with me and we can shake it.
Happy, happy, happy birthday to you, Mary Mawuena Kwabi, CEO of Omoli's Bar. Enjoy this one to the fullest.
Till the morning light, forget about the worries on your mind. You can leave them all behind.
For you today, big thank you to Sixtus Strong Ullo, Fredo Kunzo Tian, the rest of production, Sandra on the socials, and the man behind all of the music, DJ Abiam. We're back again tomorrow, the holiday edition, the family lack edition of the 3FM Sunrise. It promises to be exciting and so much fun. So you'll be wondering and be asking yourself, how come I didn't have this much fun all throughout the year? See you at the Good Pack tomorrow. Thank you very much for being a part of the show. Leaving you in the able hands of DJ Abiam.